together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. Tim will be here in just a couple minutes, and it's NFL Sunday, so we figured we'd bring on an NFL expert with us too, LJ from H-Town. What's going on, LJ?
What's going on, Nick? How we doing this Sunday football weekend, sir?
Yeah, doing not too bad. Today can't be much worse than yesterday. So can only go up from here. So looking forward to some NFL. We got a big slate today. We got the full NFL card, and then we got way too many NBA games, and then we got 5 NHL games. So sit back, relax. This is going to be a fun show. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we always recap what happened yesterday. One went right, one went wrong in the world of sports betting. I prefer if I didn't have to recap because this is, I think, the worst day I've had all year. It was just brutal. And college basketball, I'm not going to go over every single play. It was a 3-9 down 2.23 units. This is why I only bet half units on college games. Sometimes with the volume, it comes back to bite you. NBA was the only sport that I finished up in yesterday because I only bet one game yesterday. Had the Magic +4, had the Magic +145. Keep it simple. Find the one or two dogs I like. Bet them to win. Bet them to cover. They took care of business there. Easy win against the Milwaukee Bucks. 2-0 up 1.03 units on that game. CFL lost Toronto minus 10.5 against Montreal. They had 9 turnovers in that game as a 10.5 point favorite and a game where a trip to the Grey Cup finals were on the line. And they were the best team all season long. They were 16-2. They're undefeated at home. And Chad Kelly and that offense turned over the ball 9 times. A couple of times in the goal line, a couple of times for a return for 6 the other way. It was ridiculous. Lost Toronto minus 10.5 in that game. They lost outright. No surprise with 9 turnovers. And then I had Winnipeg team total over 27.5, full game over 49.5. It was looking good, 18-10 at halftime. The game ended up finishing 21-13. So it was 28 points in the first half, 6 in the second half, completely killed you over there. 0-3 in that one, down 2.07 units. NHL, this was, I think, my worst NHL day of the season, 2-11, down 9.14 units. Columbus lost. They were down 2-0, up 3-2, lost 5-4. The Stars were a winner, so Texas hockey got it done there. But Calgary lost, Vancouver lost. Vancouver did not get over 3.5 goals. The Lightning get shut out, so the Lightning were a loser. The over was a loser. The Sabres got shut out. The Islanders lost 3-1. We got the Yotes, but then the Kraken lost 4-1. That game did not go over, and the Kings did not cover the puck line. They lost outright 4-2. Ugly, ugly day. And college football was meh. It was 12-18, down 0.27 units. A lot of money line sprinkles were losers there. Did cash a plus 660 at the end of the night with Arizona State. And that's still going to get me back in the positive for that, but it is what it is. Overall, 19-41, down 12.67 units yesterday. Still up from November, though, because we had 2 really strong days before that. But it always sucks having a massive give back day. But 125, 128, and 6, up 3.46 units in the month of November. So today can't be much worse than yesterday. Can only go up from here. LJ, did you do anything yesterday for any sports bets you had?
No, you know me, man. I usually take off on Saturdays. I'm not a college guy, and didn't see enough NBA plays for me to invest in. So all my money's invested today, sir. Ready to go.
There we go. We will head over to the chat, and then we will get into today's NFL card. Marcos in the chat saying, "What's up, guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation, subscribe, and share. Tim A, college basketball, NFL, full NBA slate. Let's go. Yeah. Best betting day ever to bet. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I forgot there's also college basketball today. I've already played 5 games in college basketball as well. NHL games too. Yep. Hopefully we'll find some NHL games we like. I've already bet 2 of them, so we'll see. Good morning, Untouchable. Lost a 12-teamer in college basketball on college football because Western Kentucky got topped with a 10-teamer because the Academy got their clap cheek by the Rainbow Warriors. Did actually Hawaii win that game? I didn't look at that because I didn't bet the game, so I didn't pay attention to it at all. Did Hawaii actually win that game? Wow, they won by 14. Wow, as 19.5-point dogs.
Wow.
They won outright. Wow. Okay.
What was that money line?
If there are 14, I want to say, let's take a look. I would have to look on BetStamp. Let's see what that was because I'm genuinely curious what that is now. I want to say like plus 460, something along those lines, 450 range. Hawaii. I want it to show me because there's an apostrophe before the I. Plus that 19.5. That's not 460. That's plus 850. That would have been nice.
Wow, what a hit.
Yeah. Untouchable saying ECU under, never in doubt. Yeah, they won 22-7. They actually won a football game against an FBS opponent. Holy crap, yesterday. ECU won in both basketball and football. It's a good day to be a Pirate. And did manage to live bet the plus 170 money line. There you go. Good morning, Real Deal Prime. Some nice underdogs yesterday were Navy. Yeah, Syracuse. I was on Syracuse and I was on Coastal and Northwestern. There you go. Good morning. Good morning. LJ. There you go. He's Real Deal Prime saying, what's good, LJ?
What's going on?
One on the Colts -3 for the early game. I did not bet that game. I don't have any action on the early game here in Germany. Just didn't see anything I liked. Oh, I didn't think it was possible, but Colorado got smashed by the Blues at home. Yeah, I was pissed because that was one of the games I left off my card was the Blues plus 215. They won, I think, like 8-1 in hockey. Now later plays Steelers -3, Ravens under 39, and San Fran -3. Thoughts? We'll get into those games. I don't know about that Ravens game. I was hoping for a 3 and a hook with Jacksonville. That's kind of what I was looking at for that game. I was hoping for.
I think San Fran by double digits.
Okay. Losing the turnover battle is never a good recipe for a win. The Argos won't be defending the title. No, they will not. When you turn the ball over 9 times, you will not defend your title. Can I get a Coyote gift? LOL. Coyotes never in doubt. That was actually one of my only winners in the NHL yesterday. So, damn right, you can get a Coyote gift here. There's your Coyote.
Ow, ow, ow!
Yes. Fernando saying LJ with a muscle there. What's good? Supness from Lex. No Timmy. We do have Timmy. Shaking my head. We do have Timmy. He was just a couple minutes late because
No Timmy today. Nope, no Timmy.
Hawaii was plus 700 or plus 800. Yeah. That's not a twin. What? LJ's not my twin? Did you see
hold on. They're practically identical.
I know, right?
Lex, drink enough. They'll look identical.
Fernando hit Madrid money line, the over 2.5. Vinicius and Rodrigo anytime score at plus 403. There you go. I know that's all soccer, so it's Chinese to me. Upsets yesterday in college football. Yeah. Faves be struggling. I liked seeing that, but at the end of the night, it wasn't my dogs. Other than I was pissed because I almost had Duke at plus 460 as well. That would have been a nice hit.
Did you see that the UNC storm the court?
Storm the field as 14.5-point favorites. Yeah. Pathetic. I went on a rant on that last night, so we're not going to get into that. But if you're storming the field against an unranked opponent as a big favorite, I don't care that it was in double overtime. I don't care that it was Duke. You storm the court when you play them in basketball, not football.
I mean, it's hard to storm the court when you play football, but okay.
Or when you play, you know what I mean. Shut up. That was my biggest hit yesterday. There you go. Marco saying LJ in the house. Yep. LOL. Supness to LJ Earle. There you go. Supness to LJ Earle. Hawaii was plus 800. Yeah, that's crazy. What happened to them Canucks? They scored 2 goals in the first period, and they thought, all right, my job is done. And then they gave up 5. Lots of chat going on today. Yeah. What's good, Christopher Commentini? Well, now that Tim's here and we've gone through all the chat, let's get the show started here. And we got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 6.5-point home favorites with a total of 38 in this game. Let's get up the line history for this one. By the way, currently for those paying attention, I believe it's 7-3 Colts.
Patriots. Colts.
Almost at halftime there. But let's get started here. The Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. The look-ahead line for this one on Halloween was -5.5. It reopened on the 5th at -6. It has gone up to a 6.5. Line opened up at a look-ahead line for this one was 41, and it reopened up at a 39. It's gone down to a 38. So a line move since the opening line towards the under, and a half-point move towards these Ravens in this game here. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one. Let's hit refresh. Plenty of sample size with all these games. It is the NFL on Sunday morning. We have over 100,000 tickets in every single one of these games other than Falcons. Whatever reason, Falcons are the only one, and then a couple later ones. But we have 41% of the tickets and 60% of the cash is on the Cleveland Browns. 76% of the tickets, 89% of the cash is on the under in this game. I understand the move towards the under. Both these teams defensively are good defensive units. I believe the Ravens are number 1 in football in points per game allowed. They're number 1, 13.8 points allowed. Second in total yards allowed. Second in passing yards allowed. So they have a hell of a defense. On the flip side, we have the Browns here too, who have a pretty decent defense themselves, giving up only 17.4 points per game, which is third in football. And they're number 1 in total yards allowed, number 1 in passing yards allowed, number 6 in rushing yards allowed, which they're going to need that rushing defense against this Baltimore Ravens running attack for today's game. My number for this game here, I have the Ravens as a 4.5-point favorite was my projected line for this game. I grabbed some Browns at 6.5. I grabbed some Browns at plus 239. I'm very high on this Browns team this year. And I think they're a team that not only can compete for this division still, they're still 2 games behind, but I like them potentially to make a deep run come playoff time. But when I looked at this game, I did bet the Browns, and I also have them as a contest pick at 6.5 and plus 239. I think this line's too wide. I think the Browns defense will be able to keep them in this game enough, and I think this could be a low-scoring type of AFC North game. I'm used to just taking up the NFC North teams, shaking them in a bag, throwing 2 teams out, and the spread being -3. So seeing 6.5 is kind of interesting too. So I'm on Cleveland to start off the day here, plus 6.5, plus 239. We'll start with you, LJ. Your thoughts here, Ravens and Browns.
Yeah, I'm on Baltimore early. I took them first quarter minus the half, minus 105. Cleveland is one of the worst teams in the first quarter. They start off slow for the most part. They've had 3 road games. They've lost all 3 first quarters in those road games. And Baltimore has had 7+ points, 7 of their 9 first quarters. So I believe that's the advantage for the most part. And I look for Baltimore to win the game, not necessarily cover the spread, but I think they'll win just because they have the advantages in 3 categories that I look at. Third down conversions, they've had 5+, 6 out of the last 9, ranked 6th in third down conversions. Cleveland is ranked 31st in third down percentage. So they get off the field, considering they are second behind Pittsburgh with punts. They average 5 punts a game. So that means that they're not converting a lot. And the Ravens, on the other hand, they convert. And when they get in the red zone, they're 12 of 16 in the last 3 games. So they score when they get in the red zone as well. So I just look for Baltimore's defense. You just mentioned dominates the league. They're going to have Watson in a lot of trouble today. And Watson is dealing with their shoulder. So can he play well versus this defense remains to be seen. He's on the road, tough task, division game. Baltimore has been dominating the last, couple of weeks. So I'm looking for them to win the game. But my official bet is first quarter, minus the half, 105. Baltimore Ravens. You're on mute.
You're muted.
I don't know why I'm muted, but yeah. I said, gotcha. Tim, your thoughts here? Ravens and Browns.
You know I was high on the Browns coming into the year, right? Yeah, I'm on the Ravens -6.5. This Ravens team has completely kind of turned around my perspective. I think they're the best team, not only in the AFC, but I think they're the best team in the league. And if somebody went up to me, gave me $100, said bet any team to win the Super Bowl, it's Baltimore. And I just think they come out quick and take care of business. I think it's a double-digit win for the Ravens. They, I believe, are one of. I got to pull up my Pup Sports. I forgot what I put in for that. To be fair, I'm like awful in the Pup Sports radio contest, but that's not the point. I think I have Baltimore as one of my plays in that. So we're against each other, Nick. But good luck to you. I also, and this may whatever. I took a player prop in this one, and it's plus. I believe it was. Where was it? 435 I was able to find it at. And, I got to take my boy, Nick. Deuces. Keaton Mitchell, touchdown. He came out, had a breakout game last game. I'm excited to see what he can do this game. I regretted not starting him in fantasy football. I am going to be starting him today. He is playing today. At least he has projected points on fantasy. So that must mean he's probably playing today. Let me make sure this is –
I remember seeing a post earlier in the week saying he might not play.
He is expected to play.
Okay.
I'm all over Baltimore, and hopefully my boy Keaton can make it to the end zone today.
There you go. Back to the chat, and then we'll move on to the next game.
Where did
you type up my NBA numbers now?
Good job. Where did we leave off, Nick?
It says 15 comments. Right there.
Great. They were winning. Then I fell asleep. The Canucks. Yeah, shit happens. They effed up my parlay. Yeah. Shout out to LJ. Thanks for coming through. From Cameron. There you go. Eastern Washington versus Cincy at noon. UAB Maryland at 12:30. Oh, we're going to the college basketball ranks. Hold on one second. Let me pull up my doc. You know what? Marcos, ready? Message me. You're on Facebook, right? Message me on Facebook. Give me your email. I'll share the Google slides with you. Okay? Because I don't remember off the top of my head what these are. Well, I can actually pull those up real quick. Cincinnati and Eastern Washington. We have a slight lean towards Cincinnati. Didn't bet it.
UAB, I was gonna say I know I didn't bet that game because we only bet 5. So
UAB and Maryland, it's a slight lean towards UAB, but once again, did not bet that game. But message me on Facebook or something. Give me your email, and I'll send you the link to the spreadsheet so you can see it. Charlotte, New York at noon. Now it's NBA, and I'm on the under. LJ gives out good information. Yeah, I guess he's all right. Any thoughts on the early games? I just let you know this. Past division game, though. Yeah, it is. Tucker kicking props and Edwards anytime touchdown. No, wrong Ravens running back. Come on, it's Keaton time. Get to know his name. Pay attention and write your notes. Whenever LJ talks, 100%. Whenever me and Nick talk, just ignore it. Thinking Ravens -6.5 revenge bet for losing so much on the. Oh, no. Okay. I thought it was an actual revenge game for the Ravens.
Well, actually, no. It's actually a revenge game for the Browns because the last time these two teams played, I believe the Ravens won 28-3 or 27-3. They got blown out.
You're about to see the same thing today. Baltimore minus in the under. Yes, they convert like Christians, huh? Okay. Who muted Nick? Do I have power
to mute Nick? I realized. Well,
I do. I have power to mute Nick. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
I realized why I was muted because I opened up a can.
Oh, okay. Let's go, Tim. Your confidence has me doubling my over bet on Baltimore. I'm big on Baltimore today, but good luck to anybody. Who anytime to score? Keaton Mitchell. No tick. What's up? Keaton Mitchell, yes. Jackson over passing yards. He's throwing a lot more. My opinion, he probably doesn't have to throw a lot. You know what?
Well,
I took
he's also
Baltimore.
going up against the number one passing defense in
That's right.
football today, so be careful with that.
Real quick, I did have Baltimore in my my contest picks, and then I replaced them with somebody else.
Good.
So I forgot about that. Although I'm still confident in the Ravens today. Okay. No, Tim, my Detroit players, like Biggie Smalls says, Magic Mahomes, best team in the league, and he will be in the Super Bowl. Hey, I think you're going to get I think Baltimore is up there. So
See, I would still pick the Chiefs to go back. And it's not because of their offense this year. It's one thing that's a big difference with the Chiefs this year, which I don't think we'll be talking about at all because they're on bye. Or we won't be talking about them, but their defense is one of the best in football now.
Juan, if Boise State's out of 5, it was at a 6.5 last night. I had no value on it last night. It would be a lean towards Boise State now, but the fact that it moved like that makes me not want to be interested. Yeah, Marco, message me and I'll send you the link. Shout out ESB, hit a 1-unit 2-team parlay last night. Cha-ching. There you go. All right, hold Tim, you got a Hail Mary? I do not. I can. I like Knicks under. Yes, I like the Knicks under. Anyone interested in a minus 2,500 Cowboys money line?
Am I crazy to want to take 17.5 points today?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go Colts. Mute him on the NHL part. There's no NHL, no NBA talk today. It's only
we are. I typed up all the games.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna be here all day. Got it.
Yep, we are gonna be here. It's gonna be a little bit longer of a show, but hey, it's a Sunday morning. We're good. Cincinnati Bengals and Houston Texans. We get LJ's Texans in action here. Bengals 6-point favorites now, total 47 in this game. This line has dropped, but I believe it's because of injury, not because of market. Look ahead line was 44.5. Line reopened up at 45.5. It's up to a 46.5. So it's moved towards the over here. And the look ahead line for this game was Cincy -8. It reopened at Cincy -7.5. It's dropped to 6. And I believe the reason behind that is Jamar Chase is not going to be playing in this game. And I believe there's another injury for another receiver. Higgins. Thank you. Higgins. Jamar Chase is questionable for this game. T. Higgins is out for this game. So those are the big injuries that I believe have dropped the line. I don't think that's market related because 70% of the tickets and 67% of the cash is on the Bengals, and the line's moved down, but it's because of injury. If the market doesn't make sense and you can have a reason why the market the line's moving against what the market says, it's because of injuries, it's fine. I kind of like the Bengals in this spot, especially getting this lower number. 56% of the tickets, 48% of the cash is on the over, yet this line has moved towards the over as well. And I kind of think this could be a decent over in this spot here. Let's take a look at what these two teams have done as of late. The Bengals have finally woken up. They've won 4 in a row. They've covered in all 4 of those games. They won 24-18 last week against the Buffalo Bills. They won 31-17 against the Niners. They won 17-13 against the Seahawks. They've beaten 3 playoff teams the last 3 weeks. And now they get the Texans, which is a step down in competition. And we have the Texans coming in off of a very exciting win, 39-37 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where I believe C.J. Stroud threw for 5 touchdowns. Now, granted, this is definitely not a spot I want the Houston Texans coming in off of that type of game and C.J. Stroud off of that type of performance. It's definitely where I do not want the Texans. It's Bengals or nothing for me. I don't know at the moment here for this game, though. I have this game at Bengals -7.5, 8 range. So seeing them at -6 actually has great appeal to me. I might pull the trigger. This line just dropped to a 5. I just dropped to a 5 now. I might pull the trigger on the Bengals here in this spot. The line's down to a 5 now. I think this line's moved too much. Tim, your thoughts on this game?
Well, we get to play 1 out of 5 for the capper contest, and I'm going with LJ's Houston Texans today. I think they win this game outright. Now, I know there's the concerns, the injury report for the Cincinnati Bengals, but I know everybody. I don't think anybody's been higher right now on the Bengals. I think everybody's high on the Bengals right now. They've won 4 straight games. They just came off of a big win versus Buffalo. Now they're at home against the Texans. Yes, the Texans have played better this year. And honestly, if you could look at it the other way and go, man, this is a perfect time to sell high on the Texans after a 39-37 crazy win last game. I think they ride the momentum. I really do think you get a good performance again out of CJ Stroud. And when it comes to it, I think this is too many points. I think that this game should be a little bit closer. And if you looked at it last week, if the Buffalo Bills went and beat the Bengals, this game is probably sitting at or opens at this 5.5 number and probably drops to about a 3.5. But because the Bengals won last week, a big game versus the Bills, I feel like it got a little bit inflated. And I do like the Texans in this one. And yes, I will be sprinkling the money line. And yes, they are one of my contest picks for this week. So let's go Texans.
Interesting. I'm kind of looking at a different perspective on how I would like to bet this game. But LJ, your thoughts on this one, Bengals and Texans?
Yeah, man. I wanted to take the Texans plus the 7. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because the injuries are concerning on our side of the ball as well. We're missing our best receiver, Nico Collins. I think the other receiver, Robert Woods, is also banged up. He's questionable. And our number 1 running back, Damian Pierce, is out. So Stroud doesn't have a lot of options. He still has Schultz. He still has Tank Dell. But he's kind of limited when it comes to the other position players on that offensive side of the ball. And the Texans don't run the ball. So they're not really balanced on that side. They have to pass. That's why CJ Stroud gets so many pass attempts, because they're a high-volume passing team, considering they're anemic in the run game. And I know Cincinnati knows that. So I believe Cincinnati shuts that run game down, makes Stroud one-dimensional. He may cause, some turnovers, because both of these teams, Texans are ranked first in turnovers and only 5 turnovers in all their games. Cincinnati's ranked second with only 6 turnovers. So both these teams take care of the ball very well. But the fact that the Texans are on the road as a dog, they are 2-1, I believe, so far as a road underdog. Let me fact check that. Houston 2-1 as a road dog so far this year. But the fact that the Bengals are playing well, and I like your Texans pick as well, Nick, because Bengals have a look ahead Thursday night versus the Ravens. You see what I'm saying? That game is more important to them because they've already lost to the Ravens. If they don't win Thursday night, they're out of the division, standing. So this game, they really don't have to be contention to where it's a must win. Next week is a must win. So if the Texans are going to cover, they're going to cover this game, considering Cincinnati's vulnerable. We don't know if Chase is playing. They're missing Higgins. So it's a lot for Burrow to do today. But I still think they pull off the win because the Texans are on the road. And considering how Cincinnati's playing, 15 takeaways, quarterback hits 33 in their last 4, 19 sacks in their last 6. So I believe pressure is going to be on CJ Stroud. And the fact that the Texans are 4-12 in their last 4 games on third down conversions gives me pause too, because they're not converting third down. So if their defense is on the field, Cincinnati's gashing them, they can definitely dominate this game. So I stayed off the side. But all that said, I took the first quarter over 9.5. So I think it's going to be 10 points. I think one team will have a touchdown, one team will have a field goal, or both one of other team will have 10 points. But I believe it goes over. And I like your overplay as well for a game, because I believe Stroud is going to have to put up points to be in this game, considering how Cincinnati's been playing. But official play, over 9.5 first quarter team totals for both teams.
All right, so that I'm gonna pull the trigger on this game. Then I didn't know if I was going to or not, but here's how I'm going to approach this game. I am going to take the over 46.5 full game. I wanted to back the Bengals in this game. I do, and I found my way of being able to do that. And I see this very similar. Now, obviously, it did not come through the way I was thinking it would yesterday. I see this very similar to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers BC Lions game yesterday, where I thought there's a chance that the Blue Bombers could put up 28 points but not cover the number. I think there's a chance that the Bengals could put up 27 points and still not cover this number. So I'm going to take the Bengals team total over 26.5 at -115. I think this offense can get going. As you mentioned, the Texans throw the ball a lot, so I think that's going to open up for more opportunities for points and things along those lines. So I'll go ahead and I'll grab the Bengals team total over 26.5, the full game over 46.5 for that one. I knew I wanted to bet the Bengals some way, shape, or form. That is how I'm going to do it in this game. There we go. Tim, back to the chat. We'll keep on going.
Giants lose 35-10. I think you're being generous giving the Giants 10 points. Pass, too many key injuries. That's fair. What are you munching on, LJ? I don't know what he's munching on, but maybe he might let you know when he gets back. Stroud coming off the best game of his life. He is.
Yeah, he is. That's what worries me as
but
well.
Also, he's a rookie, so he doesn't have. Yeah, I mean that could be the best game he's ever going to have, but I think he's going to have other games like that. Texans, I like the Texans. I'm on the Dons.
He's saying he's coming off of his best game so far this year, and generally when players are coming off their best games is not when I want to back them.
That's fair. You're on the Dons. That's
San Francisco.
Oh, San Fran. You know what? I was thinking IPFW for a minute. All right, hold on. I got this. Dons is San Fran. I saw. Yeah, there it is. They're against Boise State. That was the game that somebody mentioned Boise State earlier. We have that game around a 6.5. So that's where it was last night. It's dropped to 5. I want nothing to do with it. 5.5 on my book. Okay. Too much Texan love. I've seen a lot of people loving the Bengals too, so it's not.
I'm not. For me, I was not stepping in front of the Bengals. I've done that the last few weeks, and I've gotten burnt doing it. So,
Bengals D-line should get to Stroud. I sent you my info. I got you. You're in. Okay, Oklahoma State minus 6.5. Versus Sam Houston, we got that game at almost 10. So last night there was value on it. There was no value on it. There's still no value on it. It's a lean towards Oklahoma State, so good luck. Houston and the plus points in the over. Texans usually beat the Bengals. How often do they play? That's my question.
Once every couple.
Yeah,
years.
not often because they're in the same league but not in the same division. So
And they usually
Joe
don't
Burrow, props, Bengals, anytime touchdown Chase. Chase expected to play. Seen on NFL Network. There you go. I did a teamer with the Bengals team total over and the Cowboys team total over. I don't mind that.
That's a good way to back the Cowboys without having to lay 17.5 points is their team total. I can see them dropping 30.
Yeah, but if they're dropping 30, then they're winning by 30. So I did bet 40 over 47. I could see that. And we get a yo from Mr. Joe Kryptonite. Here's another game, Nick, where there's been a lot of interesting things with this game.
I've seen people on both sides of this game. I'm very interested in this one here. And this may be a game that I don't bet, and I just see what happens in this one. This is a big test for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're off of a bye, and the Niners are off of a bye as well. Look ahead line for this game was minus 2.5. It reopened at a 2.5. It's up to a 3, and we might see 3.5 this morning. If I can get 3.5, I'm very interested in Jacksonville. The line opened up at a 44. And now it's a 4. My bad. The look ahead line was a 44 on Halloween. It reopened up after Sunday night at 45. It is down to a 44. So it's moved down a point, and it has moved towards the Niners so far here. Taking a look at where the cash flow is coming in on this one here. 54% of the tickets, 58% of the cash is on the under. The line has moved towards that under. That's actually kind of appealing for this game, the under in this spot. 44% of the tickets, 71% of the cash is on the Jaguars here in this game as well. We have both these teams coming in off of their bye weeks. And my main concern in this game back in Jacksonville is that their bye week came at the wrong time. They're coming in 5-0 straight up and against the spread the last 5 weeks, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wins against the Falcons, the Bills, the Colts, the Saints, and the Steelers. On the flip side, before the Niners bye week, they went 0-3 straight up and against the spread. They lost outright 19-17 as 8.5-point favorites against the Browns. They lost outright as 6.5-point favorites, 22-17 against the Vikings. They lost outright as 4.5-point favorites, 31-17 against the Cincinnati Bengals. They were beat up a little bit, and they're getting a little bit healthier now. And this will be Chase Young's first game with the Niners on that defense. That would be a good dynamic duo pass rush, hopefully, if that works with him and Bosa.
And Debo is back.
And Debo is back, too. Like I said, the Niners are getting healthier. The scary part, and that's the scary part for this Niners team. My number for this game is a 1.5-ish, 2-ish range for the Niners. 1.88 is my actual number. So I see a little bit of value here with the Jaguars. If I can get a hook with the Jaguars, I'll be a little bit more interested. At the moment, I'm not. But at 44.5, I'm kind of interested in this under in this game between Jacksonville and San Fran. And maybe that's the better look in this game, is looking at the under. The Niners have gone under this 45 number. They would have gone over last game, but they gone under in the previous two games on that 45 number. And Jacksonville has gone under in 3 of their last 5 games. So maybe an under could be a decent look in this game. If I could have gotten the hook with Jacksonville, I'd be a little bit interested in them as well. It's dog or pass for me here, but Niners getting healthy and getting the bye week at the right time, this could be a decent Niners spot. So I think I'm going to end up staying off the side and maybe playing the under in this game. LJ, your thoughts here, Niners and Jaguars?
Yeah, I agree with you. Niners coming off a bye, getting healthy. I believe that they're going to be primed to take care of Jacksonville today. But Jacksonville plays very well in this spot. They've held their opponent under 20 points 4 out of their last 5 games. And 8 straight times they've won as a dog when their total is under 50. So they play well in this spot. But I just think the 49ers are a better team than Jacksonville. They just were banged up. 3-game losing streak they're on right now. I believe they're going to get right. And I love the trade for Chase Young just because him and Nick Bosa played at college together at O State, I believe. So I love that chemistry right there. I believe that that's what they needed. They needed a pass rusher to get after the quarterback, considering the secondary is so vulnerable. That's why the teams have been eating up the 49ers secondary, because they can't get to a pass rush. Now, if Trevor Lawrence has time to throw the ball, 49ers may be in trouble. But I think that's the reason why they took this trade. They want to get pressure on the quarterback. I think Trevor Lawrence will be pressured. Now, official play, though, I took the first quarter over 7.5, simply because the 49ers had 7+ points or more 6 out of their 8 first quarters. Jacksonville 7+ points 5 out of their 8 first quarters. So both of these teams play good in the first quarter, get you a touchdown here and there. So it's easy, could be 7-7 going into the second quarter, which take you over that first quarter over 7.5. So that's my official play. Before I was on the game, I stayed off the side. Both teams off a bye. Both teams play well in this spot for the most part. But the fact that 49ers are getting healthy, they're getting all their players back, and they made that trade on defense, I believe they're going to be primed to take care of business today and get off that losing streak today versus Jacksonville.
Tim, your thoughts here, Niners and Jaguars?
I'm on it. Here's pick number 2, and this is what I took out the Ravens for. Niners. I think this is a Niners by double-digit spot. I know everybody is super, super high on Jacksonville right now, and I don't blame them. You look at what they just did. They won both their games overseas, then came back, played against a divisional rival, and won. Then went and played a short week on Thursday Night Football and won. And then they went and took out Pittsburgh. Like their strength of schedule, what they just did was very impressive. And then they get the bye week, so they're red hot going into a bye week. And I think that kind of messes up their rhythm a little bit. And as you guys mentioned before with San Fran, they looked horrible. Losses to Cleveland, Minnesota, and Bengals, all as 4.5 or bigger favorites. And then they get their bye week. I think it's a great time for them to reset. And the big thing here, Deebo Samuel coming back is going to be a humongous help. Even if he does not get a big workload, all of a sudden that's another player on the field that they're going to have to worry about. You know what this means? Go ahead and target McCaffrey props more. Go ahead and target Kittle props more because there's another distraction on that field, and one of them is bound to get open. So when it comes to it, this Niners team getting healthy, this is the Niners team that can make a run to the Super Bowl. This is a Niners team that is, when they're playing at the level that they do, is the best team in the NFC, maybe even the best team in the NFL. We have not seen that Niners team the past couple of weeks because they have been banged up. That's why everybody's super down on them. I'm not. I got the Niners as a contest pick in the PSR contest. Niner Nation, let's ride.
All right. That's enough for me to stay off this game.
Cool.
I'm going to contemplate the under. I might add the under later at 44.5. I am a little bit worried that with Deebo Samuel back, this Niners team can drop 30 points, and then my under is really in peril. So this may just be a stay-off spot for me. Back to the chat, Tim.
Morning, EQ. Deebo Samuel back. Then I'm comfortable backing the Niners again because I faded them twice before their bye week. Yep, there you go. What up? Earle Sports Bets and say Black Earle. What is that? Dude, what? What's up, guys? Good luck today. Hope you guys ended the night positive. No, we did not last night. It was far from it. I know the night wasn't great for going for you. I finished the day 23-22-1, up a half a unit, barely profitable. Hey, I'd rather have that half a unit than I think we were down 9. It was a really rough day. I thought we were down 10, and then I realized I didn't track Montana State, which was our best bet that won yesterday. So that was nice to find out this morning that hit. So of course, McCaffrey anytime touchdown and San Fran money line Spall same game parlay. Dude, McCaffrey is just a touchdown machine. And he's going to get. He's
also minus 250 now.
What is multiple touchdowns?
Like minus 110 probably, maybe
Never
plus
mind.
small plus money.
You played Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. You bought at plus 21. You bought 2 points against. Who are they playing? Northern Arizona against Grand Canyon. We do kind of have value towards Northern Arizona. But I will say, and I think we've mentioned it before, if you have to buy points, you're obviously not that comfortable with the play. So if you have to buy points, don't bet it. If you don't, because with me, if I'm betting a game, I mean, obviously a 16-point dog, I'm not going to think they're going to win the AM outright, but I think it's going to be a single-digit game at the bare minimum. If I'm backing that one, I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not thinking, oh, it's going to be a 20-point game, so I'm going to buy point. No. So good luck to you, but I don't at minus 175. Absolutely not. Cowboys second half team total over 13.5. I'd rather go first half because I think I
can see them getting up early and then sitting on the lead.
Yeah, I could see them being up 30-3 at halftime and then ride out from there. So be careful. Jags, bro. No. As a local commies fan, always found Young to be overrated. Interesting.
I always realize that fans always have negative things to say about their players once they trade them away.
I agree.
Like they loved him. I was like, oh yeah. They get traded. This guy was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm glad he's gone. No.
I don't do that much. I mean, there's plenty of times where
I think there was only one player that I did that with, and it wasn't that I said he was bad. I said that he could never stay healthy, which I was right. And that was DeGrom. I was the only player that I was like, good, I'm glad he's gone. Well, he wanted too much money, and he's always hurt. So,
and the Rangers still won the World Series.
Exactly.
Without him.
Anyways, we're not going to talk about that team. I'm tired of talking about them. Jaguars as a home dog are always live. Yeah, of course they're always live. But hitting the under 45 in the Pats-Colts game. Has there been any update to that game? Is it still 7-3? It is still 7-3. Cool. LJ, what was your bet on the first Houston first quarter, first half? What did you say? Over?
First quarter over.
First quarter over. There you go.
First quarter over. Yeah, 9.5.
I got knocked out by Tom Aspinall last night. Night. EQ got the right idea. I'm not saying that they're not live, but I'm just going to be on the opposite side. This is a home dog I like, though, Nick.
Yeah, me too. Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 3-point road favorites, total of 40.5 in this game. Well, let's get into it here. Look ahead line was -2.5 for the Saints. It reopened up at 3. It went down to a 2.5, and it's back up to 3. Look ahead line with this game was 39. Reopened up at 41. It's down to a 40.5. So a slight move towards the under, and basically no move on the side in this one here. We do have 52% of the tickets and 57% of the cashes on the Vikings. And we have 59% of the tickets, 72% of the cashes on the under in this game here. The Vikings are coming in off of 4 straight wins and covers now. They've finally figured it out too. They're like the Bengals. They've figured it out now too. They did lose Kirk Cousins. It is going to be Josh Dobbs, but I don't think that's a problem. And I think the market's way over adjusted for that, for it being him. And on the flip side, all of a sudden, the Saints figured out what offense was. They put up 24 points last week against the Bears and 38 the week before against the
Let's be fair, against the Bears and the Colts.
And 24 against the Jaguars. So now this is a better defense that they're facing today in this game. Which if we would have told you that last year that they're playing a good defense and it's the Minnesota Vikings defense. I mean, they're middle of the pack, 21.1 points per game, but compared to what they were last year, this is a much improved defense for Minnesota, which I thought was going to be a big problem for that. And one of the big things for them was bringing in Brian Flores in the offseason to be the defensive coordinator. He's really turned that defense around, and they've played a lot to the under. Both these two teams are 2-7 to the under. And I think the wrong team's favored in this matchup. I do. I already bet the Vikings at plus 125. This line's moved up to a 3. I'm going to grab some 3 as well for the Vikings here. And these are both the full 0.7 unit bets for me. Adding Vikings plus 3 at -115, as well as having a full bet on the money line here as well. And I think I'm going to do that with the Chargers as well because they were 2.5 when I bet them. I also have the Vikings in a teaser. I got them I got them when they were 2.5 up and over the touchdown at 8.5, and partnered it up with the Bills tomorrow night at 1.5. So I am on the Vikings here in this spot. I have the wrong team favored in this game, and I like the Vikings to get the job done. I also got the plus 3 at -115 as well. So I'm on mini here, and this is a contest pick for me as well. This is one of my 3 plays that I have contest picks for. I do have the Bills tomorrow night. I had the Panthers on Thursday, Browns, Vikings, and we'll go over the other one later. Tim, your thoughts here on this game, Vikings and Saints?
3 straight games of having a contest pick in. I'm on the Vikings as well. I'm going to grab them as a home dog. This is a team that has kind of turned it around from the beginning of the year. They started off 1-4. Now they're 5-4 and in a playoff spot. And I wouldn't be hesitant to if anybody really wants to, taking a little bit of a shot at the Minnesota Vikings to win the division. I know everybody's going to look down on it because it's no longer Kirk Cousins, it's Dobbs. But I think next week JJ comes back, and that's going to be a big help to the offense. And not to mention the team that they're trying to catch is still the Detroit Lions. They haven't proven anything yet. They've proven that they could win against the easy teams on their schedule. But this is a Lions team that can still fall apart. And Minnesota has a decent shot. They're 5-4, and Detroit's 6-2. So they still have a shot at the division. They win this week, they're a game back of the division, and that's wide open. So I like this game. I'm grabbing Minnesota at home as a dog, and I'm going to be taking I'm going to try to find the future for Minnesota to win the division, and try to go after that. Let's see, divisional futures. Can I find it?
Plus 650.
Plus 650 for Minnesota to win the division. I'm going to sign myself up for a little bit of that. So there we go. Mini haha today, and taking a chance at the division prop.
LJ, your thoughts here, Saints and Vikings.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the Vikings as a home dog. But I officially took the under 41 is what I got it. Saints 10-0 to the under when they've allowed 20 plus points or less their last game. That's been a trend that we've just been cashing since last year. Dobbs is a new quarterback on the Vikings, so he had one game which surprised everybody because he wasn't supposed to play that game. The second string quarterback got hurt, he was thrown in there. Now he's starting in this game, which makes it a little bit different for me because he's going up a Saints team which defense plays well, especially on the road. They only allow 175 passing yards on the road. And they have 18 takeaways, which is tied with Jacksonville as number 1 in the league. So I believe Dobbs is going to be in trouble today with the pass rush and the secondary that the Saints have. So I took his over half an interception as well. I think I got it at minus 130 or something like that because it was juiced. And the reason why it's juiced is because the Saints are second in the league at interceptions allowed. 7 out of their 9 games, the quarterback has thrown an interception. Their last 4 road games, the quarterback has thrown an interception. They're second in the NFL at opponent's completion percentage. And they're top 5, like I just mentioned, in opponents' interceptions. The Bengals are top 5. They had an interception. The Ravens are top 5. They had an interception on Minnesota. The other team that's in that top 5 is the Saints. So I believe they will get an interception on Dobbs. They may lose the game, though. I'm not saying the Saints are going to win because I believe Dobbs is a baller, and he can rush for some plays, get some first downs. I believe that he's a different quarterback than Kirk Cousins. Not necessarily say that he can pass like him, but he can get out the pocket and scramble better.
More of a dual threat.
Yeah, so he can make plays in needed situations if they need it. So, but as far as my official play, under 41 total, and I'm on Dobbs over half an interception.
Saints team total under is at 20.5 at plus 105. That's kind of enticing as well for this game here. But back to the chat, Tim, and we'll continue.
Nah, he was never a fan of. I was never a fan of his. Now he called him a meme guy, and now the 49ers have to him and Kittle as I guess funny guys. Kittle. 504, baby. Is that what?
That's a New Orleans zip code.
New Orleans. Okay. I was trying to figure out where. You know what? Duh. Lexus. Yeah. Never mind. Was there a consensus on Houston and Cincy? Yeah, Houston's going to win outright today.
No, I took Cincy team total.
Points and a bunch of them. The name Schurz is like saying Voldemort for ESP. No, I don't care about him. He did nothing either. Steelers and Raiders was thinking about adding Saints to it. Who did the Steelers got today? I forgot about that.
Packers.
Green Bay.
I don't know about that one. And then Raiders. No. Why is everybody loving the Raiders? Just because they beat the Giants?
New coach, new attitude.
Oh, okay.
The track history, those new coaches in their second game struggle. Their first game they win, the second game they struggle.
Dobbs ain't him. Saints smash our playoff nemesis. Your playoff nemesis? The Vikings are your playoff nemesis?
The Minnesota Miracle?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that play. And
Hey,
Stephon Diggs is doing great with Minnesota.
They don't never forget.
Nope. Saints kicker props is solid. The Yale Bulldogs. Yale? What do we got for Yale? I have my spreadsheet of it right here. Yale versus Loyola. I have that at a 1. So, yeah, I guess it would be a lean towards Yale. So, sure. The Vikings numbers aren't with Dobbs, though. No, they're not. And we're about to find out how they're going to do that. Saw something that said Saints have a plus 40-point differential on the road. Okay. Let's see.
I mentioned that. They only allow 16 points on the road.
Oh, keep in mind, 34-0 against the Patriots. So
yeah, that
was just one game against a shitty Patriots team. So good job. Yeah, have your numbers blown up because of that crap. And an 11-point win against the Colts. So good job. Fantastic.
It still counts.
Yeah.
Still NFL team.
A win against Carolina.
Hey, you play who you on your schedule, buddy.
No, I know. I'm just busting. The point differential, they played 4 road games. They won against Indy. They blew out New England. They beat a 1-win Carolina and then lost to Green Bay. So, woohoo! Sorry. Minnesota over 40 or under. Under. If anything. It's going to be a sad day for Minnesota sports when the Stars and Saints win. The Saints aren't going to win, and I can see the Stars winning.
I did bet the Stars.
I could see the Stars. I'll be watching that one. Good luck. Packers today. I kind of lean Packers. Also against the Raiders. Yes, I'm against them too. We'll talk about that's the last football game we'll talk about today. It's my Jets. But speaking of the Packers.
Yeah, this game is a game I haven't spent too much time with. So this is one of my first true times being able to fully dive deep into this one here. Because I didn't see much value on it when I ran my numbers, but we'll see. Steelers and Packers. Steelers 3-point favorites, total 38.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot between Pittsburgh and Green Bay. There we go. Look ahead line for this game was a 3. It opened up at a 3 and is still a 3. It did get up to a 3.5 for a little bit, and it's come back down to a 3. Look ahead line was a 37.5, reopened up at 37. It's gone up to a 38.5. So it's a move towards the over in this game, which is kind of interesting there. With 78% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the under. So that's kind of interesting there. 34% of the tickets, 50% of the cash is on Green Bay, and the lines come back down to them here. It was at 3.5 at one point. It's come back down. My number for this game here is Green Bay or Pittsburgh minus 2.75. So about a quarter point of value. Not enough for me to pull the trigger here. On a side, it would be Packers or nothing for me if I had to bet the side in this game. And looking at the total, I think this could be an over. I think this game may be an over. Both these teams, the Steelers, though, are not a team you want to bet overs with. They've gone over in one game this year, and the Packers are 3-5 over under. So I think that's going to end up keeping me off this spot. But all the money coming on the under, but yet this line's moved up 1.5 is kind of interesting there. I think this game could sneak up and over the total at 38.5 would be my lean, but I'm probably not going to play this game. LJ, your thoughts here? We have Steelers and Packers.
Yeah, man, another first quarter play, under 7. Green Bay, 3 points or less, 7 straight first quarters. Steelers, 0 points, 6 out of the last 7 first quarters. So I believe this goes under very low first quarter, maybe even first half as well. I'm going to be mine in the first half under as well. What is that, 19? I believe both of these teams are going to go under in the first quarter, first half. Now, when Green Bay comes out in the second half is where they score because they're the number 1 team in second half scoring. So if the game is close in the second half, Green Bay may have a shot to win. But it just depends on Pittsburgh's defense. 16 takeaways, number 2 in the league, 13 sacks in the last 4 games. So if TJ Watt and those boys can get after Jordan Love, make them uncomfortable, make them turn the ball over, I can see Green Bay winning the game. And it just depends on who wins the turnover battle, in my opinion. And you said you might lean towards the over. I saw a stat where the Steelers are 8-0 to the under as a favorite of under 40. I didn't bet that because I'm just on the first quarter. I don't like to be on a lot of it in the game, because a lot of times it flips when it comes to these type of halves. But I'm just confident that the first quarter would definitely stay under because both of these teams do not score. And I just stayed off the full game. But I would lean the Steelers to win the game and take that under as well. But I didn't make it as an official play.
Sounds like one of those type of games where maybe I can be looking at halftime and see this at a 26.5 or a 27.5, something like that. Maybe grab an over then.
Yeah. Get a better line.
Yep. Tim, your thoughts here? Packers and Steelers. Not a game I'm particularly interested. Did you find anything in this game?
No. I obviously I kind of lean towards the Packers. I was high on the Packers coming into the year, and they have completely disappointed me. I thought Jalen Love would be so much better, coming kind of like I don't want to say a second coming of Aaron Rodgers, but I thought he would be at least a little bit better after learning and being able to sit behind him for a while. But he is still, this is still his kind of like his rookie year because he didn't really play the last couple of years. So this is still his first year. We're gonna give him more time. Obviously, it's the first year without Aaron Rodgers for them, so it is a little bit different for them. I will say that. But this has been pathetic from Green Bay. Yeah, they won last week 20-3, but I believe they have one of the worst offenses in football.
Also, keep in mind
Yeah,
the Rams did not have Matthew Stafford last week.
Correct, and that's the only reason why they kind of won that game. They're only scoring 20 points a game, which is 20th in the league. So this is a team that's not scoring, although their defense has been consistent. Their defense is allowing like the 11th least points in football or whatever. So their defense looks good. I would lean towards an under in this game because, Pittsburgh's got a fantastic offense, right? No. They never do, though. But I'm not going to touch this game. I lean towards the Packers, but not really going after it.
Fair. Yeah, this is a game I have no interest in.
Eastern Washington plus 14.5. Considering Eastern Washington, what were they at this morning? They were at a 12 yesterday. You bought 2 points and it's minus 170. Once again, I'm never laying 170. I'm never going to say yes to that. I feel like the Packers need the hook.
You could have gotten a hook earlier in the week, which is also, I think, what's going to keep me off of it.
TJ Watt will chase down Jordan Love. Defense. I could see that. Lean Packers, but pass. Not going to try my luck this weekend against Steelers. Taco Guy spokesman. I'm not sure what Taco Guy spokesman is, but whatever gets you to your place. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, another game I'm not particularly interested in. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tennessee Titans. Tampa Bay 2.5-point favorites. Total 39.5 for this game. The line opened up at a 39. It's up to a 39.5. Line opened up at a 1. It's up to a 2.5. So a 1.5-point line movement towards Tampa Bay in this game, and a half-point line movement towards the over in this spot here. Let's take a look. Titans and Buccaneers. 75% of the tickets, 52% of cash is on the over. The line has moved slightly towards the over, moved up half a point. We have 67% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the Titans, but yet this line's moved towards the Buccaneers, which is kind of interesting there. I wonder if there's any injuries that'll impact that there. My line for this game is minus 1.5 for Tampa Bay, so I think this line's pretty close to spot on. Less than a point of value here. One of my numbers on Tampa Bay. Buccaneers coming into this game off of where's this game? There it is. Tampa Bay coming in on 4 straight losses. They did cover last week in a 2-point loss as 2.5-point dogs, and they covered against Buffalo as 10-point dogs the previous week. But they've lost 4 in a row. I don't trust the Buccaneers in this spot. And on the flip side, Tennessee's lost 3 of 4, and their only win was a game against Atlanta. I believe that was in London as well. I have no interest in this game at all. Maybe an under, but it's a pass for me. LJ, your thoughts here? Tampa Bay and Tennessee, and you got anything for this game?
Yeah, I got a couple plays in this game. We're going to start off with DeAndre Hopkins, over 63.5 receiving yards, minus 114. Tampa Bay allows the second most passing yards to receivers. They allowed 3 receivers last week to get 100 yards in that Texans game. They allowed 4 receivers to get 65 plus when they played Buffalo. A.J. Brown's had 131. Jefferson had 150. St. Brown had 124. So I believe DeAndre Hopkins, he has a good connection with the Lewis quarterback now for the Titans. So I believe their chemistry will keep going today. I also took the first quarter under 7.5. Titans, 3 points or less, 6 out of their last 7 first quarters. Tampa Bay, 3 points or less, 6 out of their 8 first quarters. I believe the game starts off slow, and I just believe it probably a pickup in the second half. But both of these teams are really anemic when it comes to scoring for the most part. They're only averaging maybe 20 points a game. They're both horrible on third down. Tampa Bay is horrible with penalties, 9+ penalties in 4 of their last 5 games. So that means they're undisciplined at sometimes. And like I just mentioned, man, I just believe there won't be a lot of scoring for the most part. So that's why I'm on the first quarter under. And I took the other side of the ball as well, Tampa Bay. I took their field goal kicker, Chase McLaughlin, over 1.5 field goals, minus 134. Reason why? He's hit 3 over 1.5 field goals out of the 4 home games. Titans have allowed the field goal kicker out of their 9 games, 23 made field goals, which is number 1 in NFL. 2+ field goals, 7 out of their 8 games total. So those are my plays for this game.
All right. Tim, your thoughts on this game?
I think it's safe to make this play the
Stop it. Get some help.
today. I think this one's the ugliest one. I was not high on Tennessee coming into the year, and they have been meh. Is that have they been meh? 3-5 this year.
Titans. Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tennessee didn't trade Derrick Henry, to be honest, because they're going through a rebuild. I don't really think that they needed him to keep going with that. They could have gotten some draft picks and stuff for him. And I was high on Tampa Bay coming into the year. I'm sitting on their ticket to win for them to win the division. They were 3-1 to start the year. I'm like, this is great. They look fantastic. 0-4 since, and now they're 3-5. Which I will say they're not out of the division race. They are not out of that division race by any stretch of the imagination, and it's because the Saints are currently winning that division at 5-4. So that division race is wide open. I would lean towards Tampa Bay. This line did go from closer to a pick 'em up to a 2.5. So the line movement has been going towards Tampa. Am I touching it? No, I'm not going after this game. I felt no need to go after it. I liked other spots on the card better, and I'm not going to bet every single game. So this one ends up being a stay away for me. TJ Watt promotes. Oh, okay. Got it. Off topic, but which siblings have done the best commercials together? Kelsey's, Watts, or Manning's? I've not seen any of the Watts' commercials.
I don't think the Kelseys have done a commercial together, right? It's just been Travis, right?
No, they did the arm wrestle commercial. They
I never saw that one.
Yeah, I think it's brand. I think it came out like maybe a couple of days ago. But yeah, I seen that with the ladies in the living room. Their moms are in the living room and they're arm wrestling together on the kitchen counter. That's the commercial.
I did not see that.
Do you know that Kelsey's with that Taylor girl? Anyways.
He's the one that says I'm Brittany, bitch, right?
Yes. Maryland UAB. Ooh, what's going on?
Colt almost picked it in the end zone.
Oh, okay.
Patriots in the red zone right now.
Maryland UAB. Any thoughts? 5-point spread. And Elon Notre Dame. And 5-point spread. Any thoughts? I did send you the link to the thing, but Maryland and UAB we have at a 2.5. So it'd be a lean towards UAB for us there. And then Elon game is against North Dakota, and we have that one around a 4, so no real value there. The one that would have the most value is UAB, but that's not enough for us to bet it. UCD versus so it's UC Davis. Who do they got today? Against Montana, we have it at 1.83, and it's a 4, so slightly towards UC Davis, but didn't bet it. And something in Washington. 4-point spread. Is Washington playing today? Or what am I missing? Spread never 4-point spread. I don't know that one. I don't know that game. The Never versus Wash. Anyways, Tampa under, yes. My friend, the real Salvador, cashed a parlay for $5K. He showed me an enormous stack of money. Not hard to be jelly. Oh no, I wouldn't be jealous over somebody winning $5,000. Oh, I could win $5,000. Anyways, we'll go to this game, Nick. Which this one's actually interesting.
Yeah, another game that this slate sucks. I'll be honest. I have not much for this NFL slate compared to other weeks. The look-ahead line for this game was Falcons minus 2.5. It reopened up at a 3. It got down to a pick'em at one point. It's back up to a 2.5. So there's been a lot of line movement in this game. And the look-ahead line for this one was 41. It reopened up at 42.5. It's up to a 43.5 in this game. I believe it's going to be Heineke, and it's going to be Kyler Murray making his return, which is kind of interesting in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow coming in on this one here. where we have 67% of the tickets, 88% of the cash is on the over. That makes sense. The line is moving towards the over. 51% of the tickets, 62% of the cash is on the Cardinals, and this is just moving back and forth. And I believe it hasn't moved since the opening line. It's moved back and forth, and it's landed right back to where it started. My number for this game is Atlanta minus 1.5. At 2.5. I mean, maybe if it hits a 3, I'll have a little bit of interest in Arizona. This is another game where I just have no interest in some of these games because the numbers don't pan out. The numbers don't show much value. Maybe this could be an over. Maybe. Atlanta's not playing. Atlanta's played the back-to-back overs now. Their defense has given up 28 and 31 to the Vikings and the Titans the last 2 weeks. The Falcons are 4-5 this year, but they're 2-7 ATS. So they're not good at all against the number here. Granted, it's only 2.5. They just have to win the game. This is a simple pass for me. I have no interest in this game. Kyler Murray or not, I can care less. I'm not backing the Cardinals. It would be Falcons or nothing, but I have no interest in backing the Falcons either. So, LJ, do you have anything in this shit game?
Yeah, I do.
Right. Love
it's
it.
It's a trend going today, guys. First quarter unders. Atlanta, 3 points or less, 6 out of their 9 first quarters. Arizona, 3 or less, 6 out of their 7 first quarters. So another first quarter play for me, under 7, I believe it is. Yeah. And I also took a couple of props. Arizona, offensive-wise, we already know they're bottom in the league. Kyler Murray's coming back, questionable. We don't know how he's going to respond off of this ACL injury. But he does run the ball. So if you're looking at Kyler Murray rushing props, I believe that's a better play. Because, he's very limited in that pocket. He's a short quarterback. It's hard for him to see over the offensive and defensive line. So he likes to run out and scramble to try to get open opportunities for his receivers. So if he's scrambling again today, trying to run out, he's probably going to run for a first down or 2 just to keep the drive going. So I believe his rushing prop will be more of a play on that side of the ball. But on Atlanta's side of the ball, we're rolling with B.J. Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, over 56.5 rush yards, minus 114. And we're doubling up on an anytime touchdown, plus 120. And the reason why we're doing that is because the Arizona Cardinals have allowed the running back to score a touchdown in 4 out of their last 6 games. Kareem Hunt did it last week. Gus Edwards came in with Baltimore a couple games ago, scored like 3 touchdowns on them. So they're very vulnerable when it comes to the running back and the rushing yards as well. They allow 140 yards on the ground, for the most part. And B.J. Robinson's had 11 plus carries 5 out of his last 6 games. And this is what put me over this prop, gentlemen. He's from Arizona. He went to college there. There's going to be family in the crowd. You know how players do when they have their families and, they want to have a good performance in front of their home crowd, home team, home city's crowd is what I'm saying. He's not playing for Arizona, but he's from Arizona. So I believe that's going to give him an extra boost to get into the end zone today and score in front of his family that's going to be in the stands. So those are my 3 plays. B.J. Robinson, over 56.5 rush yards, anytime touchdown, and first quarter under 7.
For the record, Bijan Robinson went to college at Texas.
But he was born in Arizona.
Yes, he was from Arizona. You said he went to college there.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was born in Arizona.
Yeah.
Bad.
No, you're good. I was like, hold on. I remember Bijan Robinson being one of the best things to come out of Texas in the last 20 years. You guys all made great points. I will point out the biggest thing you guys left out was Call of Duty got released 2 days ago. You forgot you got to feed Kyler Murray when they. No, I'm kidding. I'm not betting this game. I want to see.
Was it a double XP weekend?
I don't know, but it was the release of what was the name of it? Modern Warfare 2. So it was the full. Oh wait, no, that was the last year's. I don't know what it is, but Modern Warfare 3. It got released. So be careful backing Kyler Murray. Plus, he's. I guess the minor thing is he is coming back from an injury. But I'm not touching this game. I want to see how he looks today because I know I was higher on Kyler Murray coming into last year, and boy was I wrong about him. But I want to see how he does, and I'm not backing the Falcons on the road. That's never happening. This is a Falcons team that is 1-3 on the road, but they've technically been on the road 4 games because they played the overseas game. And when they've been on the road, they scored 6 points against Detroit, 7 points in London against Jacksonville. they won 16-13 against Tampa Bay, and then they lost 28-23 against Tennessee. I don't trust them on the road, so this one it ends up being a pass for me because I'm not touching Arizona either. It was a lean towards Arizona for me, but I didn't end up touching this one. Kyler Murray is back, but in general, how does he perform after an ACL? Yeah, because even if he's fully healthy physically, what type of mental toll is he going to have coming back from a big injury? Because I know that's always been a topic from players that play more contact sports, not as much like baseball or stuff, but like basketball, football. Because I remember hearing an interview with Jamal Murray after he came back from his torn ACL, saying that hey, it takes a little bit for mental stuff to get back to, and same deal
Basketball's
with
not a contact sport though.
Huh?
Basketball's
Not a contact, but like a physical sport like that. And up and down. Even Rajay Harris from ECU saying, yeah, I'm healthy, but there was still a couple of things keeping him back. But so it's all mental too. You got everybody. I know it's all numbers and this and that. You got to keep in mind these are all human beings too. So stuff is mental with them as well. They're still human. Fade the return of the mini star. I would. I don't want to back Atlanta though. Not happening. Most solid bet for Atlanta games is on their Pro Bowl kicker.
Kicker prop.
Kicker props. What do you guys think of the 49ers Jaguars over? No, Nick's on the under.
I lean under. I didn't bet it.
I'm on the Niners though. And then Lions and Chargers. I believe that's the next game we talk about. Yeah, that's the next game we'll talk about. So we'll get that in a minute.
One thing I will say about that Jaguars game is I'm keeping my eye on it. If they do add the hook to the Jaguars, I will grab Jacksonville.
Okay. It's definitely a fishy game. As bad as the Cardinals have been, they're almost gone from dog to fave. Yeah. Kyler Murray was playing COD and eating Little Caesars pizza, getting ready for the game. Exactly. That's the whole point. That's the whole joke on it. Let's keep going, Nick.
Finally, a game I'm interested in. The LA Chargers are hosting the Detroit Lions. This is my final contest pick for today. It's the Chargers. It's the Chargers in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where this line opened up. Look-ahead line was -1.5 for the Chargers on Halloween. It reopened up at Detroit -1, and it's done nothing but get Detroit money here, getting it all the way up to a 3. Look-ahead line was a 48. Opening line was a 49. It went down to a 48.5. So a half-point line movement towards the under here as well, which is kind of interesting because I saw this as a potential sneaky over. Or potential over, but this could be a sneaky under the more I looked at it. And I even mentioned that during the free pick video last night. You also have 77% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the Lions, which is why the Lions moved the way it is. My number for this game, though, I have the Chargers as about a 1.5 point favorite in this game. Wrong team's favorite in this spot, and I 100% disagree with the way the public's betting this game. When you look at it, yes, you can poke the same arguments here for the Chargers with their strength of schedule and their wins, because their wins have come against the Jets, the Bears, the Raiders, and the Vikings when the Vikings were still struggling. The Lions though feel a little bit like fool's gold because when they got the win against KC week 1, 21-20 without Chris Jones, and that defense is just much better with Chris Jones in that on that defense for the Raiders. And then their other wins are to the Falcons, the Packers, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, and the Raiders. When they take a step up in competition and play a playoff team, they lost against the Seahawks, and they got their ass whooped against the Ravens. I don't understand. I get it. Everyone's going to see the shiny 6-2 record versus the 4-4 Chargers, and the Chargers can be a tough team to trust at times. But give me the Chargers money line in this game. I got them at +125 earlier in the week. They're at a 126, so it's moved a penny against me there. But I don't understand why people are backing the Lions like this. But I'm on the Chargers here. Money line at +125. I would take the +3 as well, but that's -121. So I'm just going to stick with just the money line. The wrong team's favorite in this spot. Tim, your thoughts here? Chargers and Lions.
I'm on the same page. This is pick number 4 out of 5 for me. For the contest, I'm on the Chargers. And I feel like we could kind of treat this Lions team like we treat the Dolphins. You back them versus good teams, bad teams. You fade them versus good teams. Because as you mentioned, you look at their wins are, besides a Kelsey-less Chiefs team, all the
No,
teams.
it was Chris Jones. No Chris Jones.
And there was no Kelsey that game.
Oh, there was no. That's right. There was no Kelsey that game.
Yes, no Kelsey.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that win, all their other games were against the teams that are even 500 or worse. Falcons, Green Bay, Carolina, Tampa, and Vegas. And then when they play good teams, Baltimore and Seattle, they lose. Well, the Chargers are even 500. So we'll see how that one goes. But they've looked better as of late. They were kind of given the game against the Jets. The Jets made so many stupid errors in that game. A couple of fumbles. They had a couple of really short fields. So they were kind of gifted that game. And then they played Chicago. But they're on a 2-game winning streak after losing back-to-back to Kansas City and to Dallas. But I do think this Chargers team is going to be on an upswing at home. I think it's a good spot for them. And the Detroit Lions normally tend to come out slow after a bye week. So I am going to be on the Chargers. I've seen this line drop to, I see some 2.5s and some 2s now. So we do have the Chargers. I believe we just took them outright on the money line. And I did that with both them and the Vikings today. We're on the Chargers in this one.
LJ, Lions, Chargers. Are you with us with LA here?
I didn't get to a side, guys. I lean the Chargers because they're the home team, but I just couldn't get to them. I just look at still how the Chargers struggled to score even against the Jets last week, man. I mean,
that's an elite defense, though.
Yeah, but still, all he had was Austin Eckler, Deacon and Duncan for the most part. It's just what my eyes showed me that they still struggle. And on the other side of the ball, they have a good pass rush, but their secondary is vulnerable because they give up the most passing yards in the league. So for that reason, I just jumped on a couple of props just to play it safe for me. Detroit, Amon St. Brown, over 83.5 receiving yards, minus 114. He's had 100-plus receiving yards 5 out of his last 6 games. And like I just mentioned, the Chargers have allowed 3 out of the top 5 receivers in the league to get 100 yards. And guess who else is in that top 5? Amon St. Brown. So I believe he gets his 83.5. And I also jumped on Sam Laporta, over 4.5 receptions, minus 136 for Detroit as well. He's tended to be a good safety net for Jared Goff, especially on the road. He's had 5+ receptions, 5 out of his last 8 games. So I just believe I'll just take advantage of that, the Chargers' weak secondary, and don't worry about who wins the game because Detroit, they're coming off a bye, but they are on the road. Chargers coming off a win, they are at home. So a lot of conflicting things in that area. The Chargers also have 15 takeaways on the year too. So if they can get Goff to get an interception, turn the ball over, they may be in the game. So whoever wins the turnover battle pretty much will win the game, in my opinion. But I couldn't come to a side just because I have just so much uncertainty on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. One thing that I'm kind of looking into a little bit now, I don't think I'm going to bet it, but I kind of like the Detroit Lions team total under 25.5. One thing I've noticed, and granted that probably their strength of competition is not the greatest. I mean, they faced that they gave up 31 to the Chiefs, but the last 5 games for them, they've only last 6 games for them, they've only given up more than this 25.5 number against the Chiefs. They gave up 6 against the Jets, 13 against the Bears, 20 against the Cowboys, 17 against the Raiders, 24 against the Vikings. So this is an improved Chargers defense, and I think this could be a decent under spot in this game. So I kind of lean towards that the Lions team total under 25.5 in this game as well for a team total. But I'm just going to stick to that Chargers money line.
Arizona under?
Don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know if I could trust the Arizona defense for that. Chargers +3. Take them out right on the money line. The choking Chargers, no thanks. Maybe just an over and Herbert interception prop. I like the Chargers today. That's fine. Kick is good. 10-6 Colts. Go Colts. Didn't bet the game. Do we have to talk this one? This one's going to be ugly.
Yes, we're going to talk this one. We're going to give our due diligence because I'm probably going to end up with money on this game.
I was joking.
I know. I know. I'm allowed to.
Chill.
All right.
Calm down.
The Cowboys are 17.5-point home favorites. I think this is the biggest line we've seen all year. A total of 38.5. The look-ahead line on Halloween was 10 in this game. That was with Daniel Jones healthy. When after all that, the line reopened up on Sunday at 15.5. It has since gone from 15.5 up to 16, 16.5, 17, 17.5. So that will bring up an ultimate question when I'm done breaking down the line history here. The line opened up, or the opening line, or the look-ahead line was 41.5, once again, with Jones healthy. The line reopened up at a 41, and it's done nothing but plummet down to 38.5 in this game. Let's take a look here. 47% of the tickets, 64% of the cash on the under. The line has moved in that direction. 85% of the tickets and 85% of the cash is on Dallas, and the line's moved up. So the ultimate question that I was going to bring up here is Daniel Jones to Tommy DeVito worth 7.5 points? I'm saying no. Daniel Jones was not that good this year. Now, granted, this is a game where obviously if you like the under, you've missed your line because this was 41 when it opened. You could have gotten 2.5 points higher, and I don't know if I want to mess with a 38.5 now. But I would lean towards the under in this game. And the reason I would lean towards the under in this game is what are we going to see from the Giants here? And I'm assuming LJ is probably going to touch on one player in this game, and his name is Saquon Barkley, because you're going to see him get the ball a lot today. I think we're going to see the Giants run the ball a lot today. They're going to be very conservative, and they're going to try to chew clock. They're going to try to keep that Dallas defense off the field. And when you look at the Giants, last week was a bad example because all of the turnovers. DeVito had 2 turnovers, which gave the Raiders really short field. So seeing the Raiders score 30 points last week kind of is a little deceiving because they didn't have to drive much for a couple of their scores. Previous to that, this defense has been pretty good for the Giants. They held the Jets to 13 points, 7 points in the first 59 minutes of that game. They held the Commanders to 7 points, and they held the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo to 14 points. This defense is very sneaky. And the ultimate question is this too many points? And I'm going to say yes. Now, usually I'm somebody who'll sprinkle the money line when I bet big dogs. This is not a spot where I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask the New York Giants to run the football in this game. I'm going to ask them to chew as much clock up as possible. And I'm going to ask them to keep the Dallas Cowboys offense off the field. And I think they'll be able to do that enough to cover 17.5 points in this game. My number for this game, granted, this number is with Daniel Jones. It's a 12. So let's just say you move it 3 points. We'll call it 4 points. Be a 16. I still see value here with the Giants in this spot. I don't know if they should have moved 7.5 points from Daniel Jones to Tommy DeVito. So maybe I'll come back to later to the Giants losing 41-3 and be like, yeah, the Cowboys probably were easy money. But I'm going to take a shot here. Give me 17.5 points with the Giants, minus 110. LJ, are you on the Giants with me?
No, I'm not. Of course not. But I'm on the first quarter, Dallas minus 4.5. Simply because the Giants, 3 points or less in the first quarter in all 9 of their games. Dallas, 7+ points in the first quarter, 6 out of their 8 games. So I believe they're going to jump on the Giants early. Not worried about a 17.5 point spread. I like to get in and get out. That is a big number. I just think that's disrespectful for any NFL team in the league. I mean, I don't care how bad you are. That should be very disrespectful for you to have a minus 17.5 point spread. So I'm thinking Dallas is probably going to let off the gas later on. They may lose. They may win by 15 points or 16 points or even 17 points. But they probably fall short of the 17.5 to get 18-point spread. So I'm not focused on that. I'm just going to take them early first quarter, considering how anemic the Giants are. And I'm going to jump on Tony Pollard over 69.5 rushing yards, plus Dallas to win, minus 105. And I did that because the Giants have allowed the running back to score a touchdown in 8 of their last 9 games, which is all of their games. They've allowed 153 rushing yards on the road. So that's put me over there as well. And they've allowed their opponent's team total to average 26 points on the road. So I don't know about Dallas team total. What is it at 30? Is that what it is at?
28.5.
Yeah, that's high. So I don't even think they're trying to make. They may score 30. They should score 30, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to get in and get out early. Dallas beat them up in the first quarter. They may score 21 points on them in the first quarter. Who knows? But I'm just going to take the first quarter Dallas minus 4.5 and jump on Tony Pollard's rushing yards and Dallas to win the game.
I'm not one for props, but I found a prop I actually really like in this game. I'm going to take Saquon Barkley over 16.5 carries in this game. It's over 16.5 carries for Saquon Barkley. I think that this is a game where they just hand them the ball and let them run. And something happened.
Mac Jones intercepted in the red zone. Yay!
Yay! Fuck the Patriots. All right. Yeah.
Good job, Mac Jones. Good job. You're doing what you do best. Fuck up. Robert Kraft says like.
By the way, a little bit of breaking news in the NHL world. Something we all saw coming, and I'm surprised he even made the trip to Seattle. The Edmonton Oilers are relieving Jay Woodcroft of his coaching duties. So
they must be losing.
Huh?
They must be losing.
Yeah, they suck.
The Edmonton Oilers suck.
Yes.
Hold on. They don't just suck. 1 second. They are the worst team in hockey. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Did they win last night?
Yes.
All right. Sorry. They're no longer the worst team in hockey. But they, coming into last night, had 5 points. They were 2-10-1 to start the year.
Remember you asked me trends in hockey? I say fade the Sharks.
Yeah.
They lost to the Sharks.
Wow. How did they drop so far from last year? Were they like one of the number one
I don't know.
teams
I had
year?
them in my power rankings preseason. I had them number 2. If I did a power rankings now, they would be 32.
Wow. Yeah. It sounds like that coach deserved to be fired, buddy.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a big drop.
Now, as for this game, when Rutgers takes on Texas, oh shoot, this is NFL. 17.5. Oh, the Giants have a shot, right?
Hell no. To the no.
No, absolutely not. I want nothing to do with this game. I saw this line and went, that is ridiculous. Then I see Danny DeVito as quarterback. I'm like, maybe they might have a little bit more success if they made their quarterback.
Danny DeVito, what the hell?
I mean, hey, I'm a Syracuse fan. Danny DeVito went to Syracuse. He's horrible. The fact that he's even in the NFL is hilarious. The Cowboys deserve to be a 17.5 point favorite at home, and I wouldn't be surprised if we came back tomorrow and it was 56-3 or something in that nature. Like the Cowboys really hate the Giants, and I could easily see this one. You say they might let their foot off the gas. Why? Why?
They're destroying them so much.
Sorry, they have a look ahead spots next week when they play Carolina. Yeah, no, Cowboys are just going to run all over them. It's going to be like 30-3 at halftime, and it's just going to be ugly the entire game. Am I laying 17.5 points in an NFL game? Absolutely not. So this one is a complete stay away from me. But boy, are the Giants bad this year.
I can see Dallas pulling their starters in the fourth. They'll be up.
Why?
So much.
I mean, to avoid injury, but
why keep them in there?
But yeah, if this was not a divisional game and it was 17.5, I'd be like, all right, fine. Maybe they do let their foot off. It's the Cowboys and the Giants. So no, I don't see the Cowboys letting their foot off the gas at all.
Well, we'll see.
They've moved that IPFW line 2 points. All that Earle Sports Bets money coming in. You already know it. Let's go Mastodons.
Yeah, Mastodons.
If you parlay every Giants receiver under, you'll hit a 60-1. It's not a bad option. LOL, no way the Cowboys
Saquon gets 17 carries.
I will say I would never put the Dallas money line in a parlay though. That's just that has no added value to it. Maybe if you're gonna put Dallas in a parlay, take them like minus like 7.5 or something for the parlay. That or like 10.5 or something for the parlay. But I would not do that. Whoa. Mac Jones interception. Yep. Mac Jones. Yep. Heard the NHL news here first. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even know about it until Nick said it. What does Houston's finest think about a 4-team kicker round robin with Koo, Tucker, Groupie, and Carlson all over 1.5 field goals and over kicking points?
I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that because all those teams they struggle to score pretty much. Besides Baltimore, but most of those teams struggle to score in the red zone. So field goal kicker will come into play for the most part of those teams.
Mac Jones is a turnover machine. Man, it's so sad to see the Patriots struggle. Considering how they smashed them last time, they might just do it again. Let them come up fourth. No. Would you be surprised if it's another 40-0 game? No, I wouldn't.
No, not at all.
Cowboys anytime touchdown defense. The thing is that would require Danny DeVito to throw the ball, and I don't see
Tommy DeVito.
Huh?
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Not Danny DeVito, you dumbass. I thought you said that as a joke the first time. I think you actually got the name wrong.
Tommy DeVito.
Danny
Not
DeVito
Danny
is
DeVito.
that old guy that was the actor. Come on, man.
Catch by Downs. Good morning, fellas. Good morning, JoJo. Minus 24 for the Cowboys. Hell, take a minus 39.5.
I know. The Cowboys are easy money.
What is the biggest spread that you can get on the Cowboys today?
God damn it. Stop it. Move on.
New
game. Washington Commanders. Seattle Seahawks. Minus 6 for the Seahawks.
I'm still going to
We're
mention
done with the Cowboys game. We're done with the Cowboys game. We're done with the Cowboys game. We had the Seahawks at minus 6. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here. Look ahead line 6.5. Opening line 6. Still a 6. Look ahead line 44.5. Opening line 43.5. Back up to a 44.5. This line, 40% of the tickets, 58% of the cash is on the under, 73% of the tickets, 74% of the cash is on the Seahawks, and yet this line hasn't really moved. It's another game where, once again, I don't see much value on this game. I have this game around a 6.5, 7 for Seattle. 6.84 is my exact number. 6.85 is my exact number for that game. So I see slight value with Seattle in this game. Seattle's been good, and I've been kind of right about this Commanders team. I said they were going to be bad this year. They're 4-5, so they're actually respectable. They've also beaten the powerhouses of Arizona, Denver, Atlanta, and New England. So, and this was a team that lost to the New York Giants. On the flip side, the Seahawks are coming in off of an embarrassing loss. This is absolutely not a spot where I want to bet against the Seahawks. So the Seahawks are nothing for me in this game. And depending on how the day goes, maybe this is a spot I get to later in the day. Seahawks minus the points. This is all, once again, though, not a game I'm particularly interested in. Not a game I'm going to bet. A simple pass for me. LJ, your thoughts here. Seahawks and Commanders.
Yeah, couldn't come to a side. Seattle's been playing, they've been playing bad since they come off their bye. They've had 9 turnovers in their last 4 games off the bye. Washington is ranked 30th in turnovers with 14 total. So both these teams are sloppy with the ball for the most part. Washington, quarterback somehow, he's the most sacked quarterback in the league. So Seattle could bring the defensive pressure on him, make him cause some turnovers. Seattle's interesting, they're 5-3, but they have a minus 4 point differential. Like 1 of 3 teams that has a winning record with a minus point differential.
Kind of like the Vikings last year.
Yeah, it gives me pause. But like I said, Seattle hasn't been playing well out of their bye. So Washington may be a live dog today to cover that 6, but not to say they're going to win the game. But I did jump on a prop in this game. I jumped on Geno Smith over 1.5 passing touchdowns, minus 109, simply because Washington has allowed 5 of their last 6 games. The quarterback has thrown for 2+ touchdowns. So I believe coming off a loss as well, like I said, Seattle was embarrassed against Baltimore last week. I believe they're going to want to bounce back at home. Washington's flying West Coast, starting a late game, which may affect them as well. So I'm just going to jump on Geno, man. I was looking at Sam Howell's pass attempts. They had it at 37.5. They don't run the ball. They're like at the bottom of the league at rush percentage, so they depend on him to throw the ball a lot. He's averaging 39 pass attempts. He's averaging 48 his last 2 weeks, 40 pass attempts versus the NFC. So that's something to look at. I didn't take it, not making it official, just something to look at for his pass attempts. But I did take on Geno over 1.5 touchdowns. He will have 2 touchdown passes versus this defense coming off a loss, which I said they've given up 2+ touchdowns 5 of the last 6 games to the quarterback. So Geno Smith is my prop for this game.
Yeah, they have the negative point differential. It's because 2 of their losses this year, week 1 it was against the Rams by 17, and last week it was by 34. That's why they have a negative point differential, because the games they win, a 4-point win, a 10-point win, 21-point win, 10-point win, 6-point win. So
there you go. Yeah.
Tim, your thoughts on this game?
That 5.5 number. I know it's 6, some 5.5. That's like a dog number. Am I taking the Commanders? No, I'm not. I'm not interested in looking at them at all. But I will say the Commanders have looked, they're about where I expected them to be. I said in the beginning of the year, they would be a third-place team in the division. And that's exactly where they are. Nothing higher, nothing lower, third place in the division. Now, going up against Seattle, I do like the Seattle team. I gave out Seattle to win the division. I thought they would have a shot, and they're currently tied with San Fran right now. So they do look halfway decent right now. I think this is a game they have to take care of business. Am I betting either side? No. Maybe lean towards the under. I could see this one being a little bit more defensive or lack of offense. But this is a game I stayed away from. There was this card today is just a little bit, I don't want to say weird, but it's not that good of a football card this week. I was already looking at next week. Next week looks a little bit better, but for this game, this one's a pass. EQ is laughing. ESP says Cowboys to win by 43 plus is 2,500.
Stop.
I mean, that's
Sam.
not a bad option. Anyways, Oilers got one last hurrah before Woodcroft got canned, yet Keefe is still coaching the Leafs. I mean, the Leafs aren't as bad as the Edmonton Oilers, let's be honest here. Let's see, when does Edmonton play next? Oh boy. They play tomorrow versus the Islanders. I know what I'm betting for that game.
Oilers. Free money.
Oilers. 100%. After your coach gets canned, yep, give me the Oilers. Danny DeVito is Schwarzenegger's twin. Yeah, I figured that one out. There's some pizza money on it. The Cowboys to win by a lot. Commanders money line. Have fun. Have fun. Now, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. This is going to be a shitty game that I'm going to not watch a minute of probably. We have the New York Jets and the Las Vegas Raiders. 1-800-GAMBLER if I've ever seen one. This line's down to a 35.5 in this spot. And it's -1 for the Jets. Look ahead line -2.5. Opening line -1 is still a -1. Opening line 30 or look ahead line 36.5. Opening line 36 down to a 35.5. 87% of the tickets, 98% of the cash on the under. The lines move towards the under. 50% of the tickets, 64% of the cash on the Raiders. Lines flip from dog to favorite for the Jets, but 48% of the tickets, 68% of the cash on the Jets money line. That's probably why. And I'm just going to say three words and move on. Prime time unders. First half under 17.5, full game under 36 for me. That's what I got to. LJ, your spot here.
I'm right there with you. Prime time under 36.5. Nothing else to talk about this game because both of these teams are ass.
Hey. That's how
Ass.
I love how LJ. I love how we both want nothing to do with this. Talk about this game. I'll bet the unders, and that is it.
That's it, buddy. That's all we need to talk about.
I think this is a fantastic opportunity for a Jets bounce back spot, and I see a lot of love for the Raiders. A lot of love for the Raiders. And good job, you guys fired your head coach, your offensive coordinator, your GM. You benched your starting quarterback for a rookie, and you guys beat the sorry-ass Giants. So I don't want to hear that they're back. I don't want to hear anything good about this team. They're not good. And the Jets have one of the best defenses in the NFL. And when it comes to it, I think the Jets shut down the Raiders entirely in this game. And you look at the Jets side, I don't think they could look much worse than they did the last 2 games. A barely winning against a pathetic Giants team, and a game against the Chargers, which was really, really ugly. I think there's a good spot for the Jets to bounce back. I'm on the Jets money line in this game, and I'm also on the under. Yes, it's a primetime game, so we take it under. The Jets are not scoring touchdowns. They've scored 1 touchdown since their bye week, and that was against the Giants. But I think after last week's game for the Raiders, I think this is a really good spot to sell high on them. And I'm grabbing the Jets in Vegas today. Bounce back spot.
Yeah. Do you think the Raiders are sitting after the coaching change and got the win last week and think
This team will never lose again?
no? Okay, fair.
Jets, Jets.
Can I give y'all an interesting stat about the Jets?
Oh,
I
boy.
have a feeling this is going to be very negative, but go ahead.
It's very negative.
I love it. Give it to me.
Red zone opportunities this year
God.
for the Jets. 4-20 in red zone opportunities. 1-13 in their last 4 games in the red zone. So yeah.
But what you're saying is this is going to be a legacy game for Mr.
I don't know
there you
about that one.
No.
Raiders money line, new swag. Everybody's high on the Raiders. That's fine. Everybody go bet the Raiders. The Jets are winning tonight. It's at a 35 now. Total. That's a really low total.
Plus 300. Zach Wilson over 1.5 interceptions.
Nick? All right. Anyways, that's all for Nick today. Primetime under. Yes. Zappy interception.
Colts win.
Colts win. Yay! Suck it, Patriots. It's my long under same game parlay. First half, both teams, team totals under. All right, you're going mega under. Damn, that was loud. Do you want me to play it again? Hold on.
That is loud.
I mean, former Raider did. Oh God, I accidentally clicked into that comment. I'm sorry.
Oh man, it's fine that you kicked me. We're gonna be talking about the NBA now.
Which I think we can go ahead and skip this first game.
Yeah, New York Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets.
No, legit. We could skip this game. It's already on. It's halfway through the first quarter.
Oh, okay. We're not going to be talking about this game. All right,
I have the under for this game, so there you go.
I did not know. So it is.
Yeah, it was a new game.
Yep. We have the Brooklyn Nets 6.5-point favorites against the Washington Wizards here. Let me switch from the NBA to the NHL, or from the NFL to the NBA for line history. Total 235 in this game with the Nets. Please, come on, website today. Cool. No, there we go. This line is up to a 7 now in this spot. There we go. Opening line was a 6. It's up to a 7. Opening line was a 232.5. It's up to a 235. So a move towards the over and a move towards the Brooklyn Nets. Let's switch over my Action Network from. There we go. We have 37% of the tickets, 58% of the cash is on Brooklyn. So the bigger bets coming in on Brooklyn as a favorite in this game. Brooklyn coming in off of their first game where they did not cover this year. 39% of the tickets, 89% of the cash is on the over, and the line has moved accordingly. My number for this game is Brooklyn minus 7.75. So at a 7, I see a small bit of value on them. I've been betting Brooklyn a lot this year, and they've covered a lot for me. The thing is, though, I've been betting Brooklyn as an underdog, not as a favorite. That's enough to keep me off this game. Once again, you guys probably all know, in the NBA, I'm looking for reasons to pass on games, not reasons to bet on games. I'm looking for everything to correlate when I do bet the NBA, and it's not here. So I'll lean Nets. It's Nets or nothing. It's over or nothing. It's a no play for me. LJ, first NBA game on the slate, Wizards and Nets.
No, not interested. Wizards suck. They give up a lot of points. Brooklyn are missing some key guys in their lineup. I want Claxton to be in that lineup. I think Ben Simmons is out as well. He's their leading assist leader and rebounder as well, I believe. So just too much uncertainty for me in this game. And like you mentioned, you like to bet Brooklyn as a dog, not as a favorite. So for those reasons, I pass.
Yeah. There's 30 teams in the NBA, right? I want to make sure I'm correct there.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
See, I was going to say that because the Wizards are 30th or dead last in points allowed per game, 126.5 point game per game. If you want, the Brooklyn Nets team total is a 121. That could be an interesting look, thinking they drop 130 on them today. So that could be a decent lean in this game. Tim, your thoughts here, Nets and Wizards.
As you mentioned, Nets are 7-1-1 against the spread. So they're a covering machine. The biggest favorite they've been is 2 points.
Yes.
All the other games, they're dogs. Every single other game, they were dogs. So no, I'm not interested in the Nets. I'm only going to back them as a dog because that's a team that you're going to want to go after them as a dog or a very, very short favorite. Because I know we took them -2 versus I took Charlotte in that game, and that one burned me. But they were 2-point favorites against Charlotte. That was the only other time this year that they were favorites. So this is not a spot that I'm going to go after the Nets. And I like my money, so I keep it away from betting the Washington Wizards. So this one is a pass for me.
All right. Simple enough.
Patriots 2-8 for the first time since 2000. Beautiful. NBA. Who's winning? Nobody. Nobody's winning in the NBA. Everybody loses. I wonder what the odds were for the Patriots to miss the division, finish last in the division. Probably pretty good.
They were projected to finish last.
They were odds-on favorite to finish last in the division. But that was also with Aaron Rodgers in for the Jets. So I'm on Spencer Dinwiddie PA. Up and over. I like it. Wizards money line, they always give the Nets trouble. I am not touching the Wizards. I like my money. Kuzma over 2.5 threes. Good luck. Let's head to this game, which is ugly.
Gross. Memphis Grizzlies 8.5 point favorites, total of 224.5. Let's get into this game here, where the opening line was an 8.5. It did get up to a 9 at one point. It's back down to an 8.5. Line opened up at a 225. It's down to a 224. So a move towards the under and really no move on the side. It did get up to a 9 at one point. 82% of the tickets, 93% of the cash is on the Memphis Grizzlies. And then 36% of the tickets, 67% of the cash is on the under. And I believe the line's moved towards the over in this spot here. This line, I have this line at a 5.5, so I see value with the Grizzlies. One thing that's not correlating is that for whatever reason, the Grizzlies are massively public at the moment. I don't know why, other than the Clippers really struggled that much. Where
Clippers, since getting James Harden, is 0-3.
Simple enough. That's an easy pass for me. Memphis maybe covers in this game. These two teams are a combined 4-13 and a combined 5-12 against the spread. I guess dog or pass, but the hell with betting Memphis right now. LJ, anything?
Yeah, I got to play in this game. And this is a play that I've been taking ever since last year. Take notes, ladies and gentlemen. Number one trend for the Clippers, third quarter at home. They're plus 13 this year, which is number one in the NBA. Last 2 years, they've been top 3 at plus point margins coming out that halftime at home. So that's all you need to look at. That's all you need to take. Don't worry about anything else. Clippers at home, third quarter spread. Take it. It's an automatic bet. Trust me.
Good luck. I would love to.
Trust me. I'm telling you. Trust me. Track it if you want to, just to see.
Hey, I'll look at the box score tonight and be like, shit, he was right. Good for him.
There you go. Especially against Memphis, who's been welling. Without Ja, they're not the same team.
And Steven Adams. No Steven Adams.
Yeah, him too.
And the crazy thing is, the last few years, I remember when Ja Morant was out of the lineup, we automatically bet the Grizzlies because they were better without him.
You're right.
You should look. Well, and then they also don't have Dylan Brooks anymore, which I know he was the kind of a cancer to the locker room, but he was at least putting up numbers.
Yeah. So the Memphis are a completely different team right now. So
yeah, you look at their lineup and it's like, wow, this is like a G League lineup. And that's the one thing that's kind of keeping me off this game. Normally, I'm fading the Clippers at every single chance I get. I look at them the same way as I looked at the Suns last year after they got KD. Good job. You got a big player. They got Harden. What happened? Your bench is gone.
Yeah.
Because they traded a lot to get him. And
Yeah.
I hate when teams do that. One of the things that you need in order to be successful is a good bench. And to look at the teams that are doing well right now. The Nuggets have one of the best benches in the NBA. Best team in the league. 76ers. They traded Harden away. They got a nice bench now. 7-1. You look at the top teams in the league. Even the Pacers. The Pacers have a solid bench. You cannot play in the NBA and expect to win if you're just relying on your starting five. And I will say, the Clippers starting five is fantastic. Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell Westbrook. That is fantastic. I can't wait for them to go up against LeBron and the Cavaliers. Oh wait, it is not 2016. This lineup is garbage. So no, I'm not going after the Clippers. Good luck with your third quarter prop. I think the Clippers are ass. I want to fade them at every chance I get. I'm not backing them. I'm not fading them today because Memphis is just that bad. So,
yeah. Also, one point that LJ made there with the third quarter, especially with them at home, makes a lot of sense. They're 0-5 away from LA. They're 3-0 at home.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Under. I could see the under in that game. But I did do Clips 11 plus margin. I just don't. I mean, yeah, they're winning and covering at home, but I just can't trust them. Bane 18 plus points, Harden plus points, Jackson points plus 105. Yeah. They are one of the Jonas brothers last year. They are one of the Jones brothers last year. Okay. Oh, wait, it's not 2016. Yeah, exactly. All right, I like this game, though. I did bet this one.
Indiana Pacers are at the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers 6.5-point favorites. Actually up to a 7 now, total of 237. I can assume what Tim's betting in this game because I think he's bet it in most Pacers games so far this year. Line opened up at a 237. 235, it's up to a 237. Line opened up at a 7.5. It's down to a 7 now. So the line has dropped. It did get down to a 6.5, but it's a little bit of buyback there. 42% of the tickets, 77% of the cash is on the Pacers. The line has moved in that direction. 14% of the tickets, 71% of the cash is on the under, and the line's moved up as well. My line for this game here is Philly minus 6, or my bad, minus 8.5 range. So I see a little bit of value here with Philadelphia. Is this something I'm going to bet? No. I'm more interested in that total. All that money coming in on the under, and yet this line's moved up a couple points in this game. Plus, it's the Indiana Pacers, and I'd probably be stealing Tim's thunder right now, but the Pacers and overs. They are 8-1 to the over so far this season. And Tim's nodding his head like, yeah, I just completely stole your thunder. That's really my first.
No, I got more stats for it, so.
Yep. Over 237 for me, Pacers and Sixers. Tim, thoughts on this one?
I actually totally forgot about the over.
I beat you to it then.
So you beat me to it. But I am on the Pacers in this game, and I just put it up as a free play on the site for the over. Pacers games this year, and until they put the total at 250, I'm going to continuously back the overs. Because you look at their stats this year, and I know it's a very small sample. It is 9 games. They are number 1 in offense this year. 126 points a game. And you can look at it. Yeah, sure, they scored 152 versus the Spurs, and you can say, oh, that's an outlier. 126 versus the Bucks, 134 versus the Jazz, 124 versus Charlotte, 121 against Cleveland. 2 kind of slow games with 104 and 105 versus Boston and Chicago, 125 versus Cleveland, 143 versus the Washington Wizards. This team is scoring and in bunches. And I mentioned I really like this Pacers team. I think they're going to be a really strong team this year. One thing they have to clean up in order to be a good team is their defense, though. Because, yeah, they're scoring a lot of points. They're allowing 121.6 points a game. That is 26th in the NBA. 124, 118, 111, 125, 116. Like every single game is at least the lowest they allowed this year was 111 points to the Spurs. Other than that, every single game has been over that total, including a 155 spot to the Celtics. But until the trend dies, or until they really start tanking under, or starting to put the totals up at like 250, I'm taking the over in every single Pacers game. So Pacers over, and I'm on the Pacers plus 6.5 in this game.
Would you look to double down on this anyway, like maybe taking a Pacers team total over or a first half over as well? Like you say this is a really strong trend. Would you find multiple ways to try to get involved with this game?
Maybe like a Pacers team total over do damage spot, first quarter, first half, full game. That could be an interesting spot.
You can get their team total over 115.5.
What about the first quarter, second quarter, first quarter and first half?
First half 115. My bad. First half 57
for the total for their team total.
Team total 57.
Yeah, no, I honestly think they score 130 today. Because you can even and yeah, I can go off that trend. A lot of stuff with that. Look at the Pacers too. The Sixers. Sixers have actually gone under in 4 out of their last 5, but they started off 3-0 to the over. So this is a Sixers team that is not afraid to score either. So I think this one flies way over the total.
LJ.
Yeah, I can agree with y'all with the total. Even the first half, over 118.5. Both these teams are trending to a 134 first half total. So Indiana, number one, like you mentioned, scoring. I think they're number one in the first half scoring as well. Philadelphia is top 5 for the most part. So I see a lot of scoring, but I don't like the fact that Kelly Oubre's out the lineup. He had an accident last night. You know, he's one of the starters. So once you shake up a starting lineup, I don't like to bet on you because it's too much uncertainty. I don't know who's going to play the role now. I don't know where Maxey comes in now. Is he going to go back? Is he going to stay as the point, or is he going to go to shooting guard, Melton? You know, so those things right there give me pause. I've learned by capping the last couple of years, like if the lineup has changed, don't force it because you have to depend on consistency with these teams. If they have some inconsistency going on, don't even worry about it, man. Just let it go. Don't force anything. But I agree with the points. First half, full game is trending over, so I definitely will lean over first half and full game. But no official play in this game for me.
Fair enough.
Back to chat. Pacers, yes. Under, no. Hell no. Hell no is a what? Over in Pacers game of history of Pacers versus Sixers favor over here. That and the Pacers all year.
Yeah. By the way, head-to-head matchups here. The Sixers have won 6 in a row, and they've gone over an 8 of 10.
To be fair, these Pacers teams have been bad, so I'm not really taking
True.
Now, I understand. Yes, the overs, yes. I will take those. I will not look at the sides for the last little while. If a team has either gotten a lot better or gotten a lot worse, I kind of take those recent games for them, especially if they're not this year out of the equation. And then Lex has taken the clown over 15.5 rebounds and assists. I could see Embiid having a game. That's fine. Let's go to the best team in the NBA.
This is a fun one that we can here's how we're going to I think I have ready.
That's right.
We're going to do this. So I separate you two for this one. We have Tim's Denver Nuggets. We have LJ's Rockets. And we have the Nuggets as 4.5-point road favorites with a total of 216 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. This line opened up at a 3. It's up to a 4.5. So 1.5-point line movement towards these Denver Nuggets. Line opened up at a 217.5. It's down to a 216. So it's moved a 1.5 down. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 36% of the tickets, 76% of the cash is on the under. The line has moved down. 76% of the tickets, 77% of the cash is on the Nuggets. The line has moved in that direction. Let's take a look at my number for this game. I have the Nuggets as about 6.5-point favorites in this game. So I do lean Denver. I would have preferred them at 3 rather than 4.5, obviously. And looking at this game, I think the way to go in this one is under. Under at this 216 number. The Denver Nuggets have gone under in 6 of their 9 games. The Rockets have gone under in 5 of their 8 games as well. The Nuggets, believe what? They have gone over in 3 of 4, though. The Nuggets have gone over in 3 of their last 4 games. But I think stylistically this matches up well for a nice little under. And the Rockets are kind of sneaky right now. They're 5-3 so far this season. They're 4-3-1 ATS. So they've been better than people expect so far to start the year. For me, it's under or nothing. It's Nuggets or nothing, but it's probably nothing for me in this game. I think the under is a stronger lean for me in this one. The bigger bets have come in on the under. Both these teams are trending towards the under this season, just full season. And the line is moving towards the under. So it feels like almost everything's correlating for an under here for me that I might pull the trigger on at 216. LJ, we'll let you go first with your Rockets here against the Nuggets. What's your thoughts on this game?
My thoughts is what's consistently has been cashing for me so far this season. Rockets, first half, plus the 2.5, gentlemen. 5-0 against the spread. Last 5 games at home in the first half. Now, Denver's a much better competition. I understand. We played the Pelicans, the Lakers, the Kings twice, and we played Charlotte. I understand those teams aren't in the category of Denver, but I'm still trusting this is where the Rockets play well at home in the first half in front of their home crowd. Now, the second half, totally different story. Denver could come back and sweep them the second half and win the game -4.5. I completely can see that. But early and often, I believe the Rockets will stay close. I believe that they will consistently stay close in that first half. I love Van Fleet on the team. We have a distributor now, ball control. Jalen Green has been averaging around 20, 22 points at home so far. And we got Sagoon. He plays like Jokic. I think he looked up to Jokic as well. So he likes playing versus Jokic. You know, it's one of his competitors that he likes to prove that, you know, he belongs in NBA as well as him. So look at that matchup today because we kind of use Sagoon like Denver uses Jokic. You know, he assists the ball very well. You do the screen and rolls, things like that. He looks for players off the screens and things like that. So, but all that said, Trilogy player today, ladies and gentlemen, you already know. Rockets, first half, plus 2.5.
Sam, your Nuggets.
Yeah, I will say I'm on the Nuggets. I got them at 3.5 last night. So I'm happy I got that line movement to go my way. I'm just going to continue to back the Nuggets. Hey, I'll give props to the Rockets. They've looked good. They've won 5 straight games against Charlotte, who's trash. They seem to have the Kings' number because they whoop their ass twice in a row. The Lakers are ass, and New Orleans was beat up. So this is their first real game of the year. They did play the Warriors, but the Warriors I think are going to end up slowing down a lot this year. This is their first real game of the year. Jamal Murray's still going to be out for the Nuggets. He's going to be sidelined for the rest of November with the hamstring injury. So that's kind of unfortunate. But I'll say if this was last year, I'd be a little bit more worried. This year, the Nuggets have players stepping up. They have their bench is a lot better this year than it was last year. And when it comes to it, I'm not as worried. And I have the Nuggets -3.5. And seeing that you mentioned whole Sagoon versus Jokic props. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jokic triple-double because I do that every single game. I believe, is it still normally it's even money for his triple-double. It's plus 130. Plus 130 for his triple-double? Let's go. Normally you don't see it that low, so I'm happy with that. Or that big of plus money. But I will be grabbing the Nuggets. I think the run by Houston's been great. I think they finally get a reality check when they go up against a real team now.
I did move on this game. I got under 216. I moved on the under in this spot.
I'm on Joker Pro points and rebounds. Add assists in there, dude. Just come on, just grab his press. He's crazy. Ella Tim went all in, repping Golden Nuggets swag. I made sure I found my jersey, and I always have my finals hat on. Let's get it. Jokic triple-double and Nuggets to win, same game parlay. That's a good way to not have to worry about the points.
There you go.
LJ treats his gambling how I treat my women, in and out, early and often. I like it. I like it. Yes, this guy, Strothers, he's been really solid off the bench for the Nuggets. He's one of the guys that's been stepping up, 100%. Rockets first half money line, and then Nuggets money line full game, a double.
I like that. Where's that on?
What is that on? Take both of our plays, and he said plus 500.
I like that.
I like it. And Markel got Jokic triple-double at plus 155. Wow, what book are you getting that one at? That's nice. Under. Yeah, I could see the under in this game. FanDuel. It's on FanDuel for the Rockets and the Rockets.
I can't play FanDuel. Sorry, I'm in an illegal state.
Yeah, we can't get to it either. But
we don't have that luxury.
Yeah, we're not as cool as you, JoJo.
For real, JoJo.
But let's jump to this next game, which
yeah. Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs. The Miami Heat 1 point road favorites, total of 221.5 in this game. This is a game I was kind of looking at that presented value according to my numbers. So let's get into it. Opening line opened up at a 2. It's down to a 1 for Miami though. Line opened up at a 225. It's down to a 221. So a move towards the under and a move towards the Spurs in this game here. Taking a look at the line, the market moves here, and this is enough to keep me off the Heat. 29% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the Spurs. The line has moved towards the Spurs. 26% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on the under, and that's why this line has plummeted. My number for this game was Miami minus 3.5. I'm assuming there's players out, and I'm not going against I'm not an NBA guy. I know I'm not an NBA guy, and that's why I don't go up against market moves in the NBA. And this is a clear market telling me that it's probably a Spurs spot. So this is a stay off for me. I'm assuming this is a back-to-back, so probably Jimmy Butler is going to be resting because he can't play more than 3 basketball games a week and make $40 million. So I
don't think they played last night, though.
They played the Hawks last night.
Yeah, they played last night.
Yeah. Wow, I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
So pass for me. Probably somebody's sitting in this game if this number is just the way it is. I have no interest in this.
Tyler Hero's out.
There it is.
I was about to say,
yeah. Jimmy Butler may sit too.
And then Karen Butler might be out tonight too.
Yeah. So all they have is Bam.
Your thoughts on this game, LJ?
Only thoughts is Bam. I don't see the prop out yet because they probably haven't made it official that he's going to play. But if Bam plays, I'm on his double-double. Yep. Because the Spurs give up the double-double to all their centers that they play for the most part. So until I see that prop, I'm staying off because it's too many injuries for Miami. And San Antonio, you never can, trust them to play any type of number. So they are at home. Could go over, but who knows? Miami's missing too many players to even try to dive deep into this game. But Bam Adebayo for sure. If he plays, double-double.
Yeah, Tim, your thoughts on this beauty?
I would say over because the Spurs are pretty similar to the Pacers. They're 8-1 to the over. That's a heavy over team this year. And when I looked at their numbers, they are. But the thing is, they're 16th in scoring, but 29th in defense. So they are one of the worst defensive teams in basketball. And you mentioned earlier, the only team that's worse is the Washington Wizards. Now, why am I staying off of this? Well, Miami's got some injuries or players sitting out, and Miami is 3-6 to the under. So they are a lot bigger of an under team, which is going to keep me off this game. Plus, this total opened up at 225.5 and has dropped to 221.5. So when a line movement that much, with a team that has gone over in 8 out of 10 games, which the only game that 8 out of 9 games, the only game that they did not go over in is when they scored 83 versus the Clippers. And that one, it finished 123 to 83. That one's the only game that went under for them. This is one of their lower totals. So the number kind of tells me under now because of how it's moved, but it's moved 4 points, so I'm not even going to come close to touching it.
Fair. Yeah. No. Pass for me.
I got it on FanDuel too. Have fun. Bam double-double is minus 245 on DraftKings.
It should be. For real.
Which is surprising that they're giving up a lot of double-doubles when Victor Wembanyama is in the center spot. So
yeah, he plays more on the wing though.
Yeah, he's not the average center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a hybrid.
Let's keep rolling.
Yeah. We have the New Orleans Pelicans hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks 2.5-point favorites, total 234.5 in this game. This line is now up to a 3.5 for the Mavericks. It's moved up. Let's take a look at the line history here in this spot. If it will click sometime today, that would be nice. There we go. Line opened up at a pick'em. It's up to a 3.5. That tells me somebody's out. Line opened up at a 234. It's up to a 234.5. So it's moved up a half a point as well. 83% of the tickets, 50% of the cash is on the over, which explains the line move towards the over. 81% of the tickets and 88% of the cash is on the Mavericks, which could explain the line move towards the Mavericks. Probably some injuries as well. If I had to guess, my number for this game is a pick. I have actually this game at Dallas -1. So, I mean, I at a +3.5, I would lean towards the Pelicans, but I'm assuming somebody's not playing if that's the case. So,
Yeah, they are. They're not. CJ's out. Alvarado's out. And that's the problem with the Pelicans. They don't have a point guard. That's why they're struggling right now. It's too many people trying to handle the ball. Brandon Ingram bringing the ball up. Zion bringing the ball up. They don't have a consistent point guard. So until they fix that problem, the Pelicans are not a bet-on team to me.
No.
And
And
far as
especially on
Dallas,
back.
yeah, exactly. And on Dallas, they depend on Luka, Kyrie, and Hardaway. The only 3 players that can score. So until they get some more consistency in their lineup as well, both of these teams are trending down, in my opinion. So I definitely would stay away from this game. No interest whatsoever.
Yeah, it's CJ McCollum that's out for the Pelicans with a collapsed lung, so he's going to be out long term. So that's really rough for them. And I was high on this Pelicans team coming into the year. I said, look at them last year. They were competitive last year, and now they get Zion back, which Zion is playing. He's been playing fine. But not having CJ McCollum is definitely rough. By the way, the only NBA player ever to come out of Lehigh. And when it comes to it, I want nothing to do with this game. I lean Dallas. Dallas has been playing well this year, but the fact that this line is this close with the Pelicans on a second leg of a back-to-back without McCollum, I want nothing to do with this game.
fair.
Let's keep rolling.
Yeah. The Bulls 7.5 point favorites, total 217.5 in this game. Well, let's get the line history up for this one here. Bulls is 7.5 point favorites. That is, line open up at a 7.5, and it's still a 7.5. Line open up at a 219, it's down to a 219.5. It's down to a 217. So it's a 2.5 point line movement towards the under there. No line movement on the side. Let's take a look here at this. Your reaction and my reaction is exactly what the public's reaction is. 87% of the tickets and 57% of the cash is on the Pistons, plus the 7.5. So everybody's thinking the same thing. 42% of the tickets, 79% of the cash is on the under, and the line has moved towards the under. Let's take a look at my projected line for this game. Is a 3. So seeing this at a 7.5, I mean, I'm assuming there's injuries if there's this much of a discrepancy between my line and the books line here. I'm not backing the Pistons as a public dog. That's just not something I'm doing. And I'm not laying 7.5 for the Bulls. So this is a very easy pass for me. LJ, your thoughts on this game?
I'm not touching this game.
Yeah, I'm not touching either. I have no interest in any one of these teams. I'm not a Bulls fan. I would look for Caruso steal props against Detroit because they give up a lot of steals to the guards. But I never see Caruso's steal prop. They never put it up on my book, but I guess I could plan on these other books that are not legalized. So I don't know. If you want to look at that, Caruso steal prop versus Detroit, look at that. But as far as anything else, I pass. Not interested at all.
Are there any injuries I need to know about here for Detroit, Tim? On why they would be a 7.5 point dog in this game?
Because they suck.
They have James Durham is out, their center.
Yeah, but he's been
there
out
it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean,
all right.
I don't know, he
Appreciate
played
it.
last game. But the main reason why is because they suck. So, no, I'm not interested in this game.
All right, then we'll keep moving on. No need to spend more time on games we're not interested in. Suns minus 3-point favorites against OKC. Total 232.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where we have the Suns. They opened up. If the line history wants to load here, sometimes it takes forever for whatever reason. There we go. Line opened up at a 3. It did dip down to a 2.5 at one point. It's back up to a 3. Line opened up at a 234.5. It's down to a 231.5. So it's a move towards the under, and it's a move towards and no line movement on the side in this game. We have 43% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on the Suns. The line is not moved on the side. 82% of the tickets, 78% of the cash is on the over, yet this line's plummeting. So that's kind of interesting there. Let's take a look at my line for this game. I have this game at around 3.5. So I think this line's about spot on. As for the total, I'm kind of surprised that the line's moving down, even though all the money's coming in on the over. Both these teams have trended towards the over this year. The Thunder 5-4 to the over, and the Suns 6-3 to the over. It's a 231.5, which is kind of a lower total considering that. No, actually, it's gone up compared to what these teams have had previous last few games. The Suns have been going over, but the totals are 218.5, 218, and 225. So I would lean under in this game, but you've missed your line if you like the under in this spot. So it's a pass for me in this game. No interest here. Tim, your thoughts with the Thunder and Suns here?
You know I like the Thunder. I've been high on this Thunder team. I said at the end of the year this team can be a top 4 team in the West. I am that high on them, and I still have my Chet to win Rookie of the Year because I think that ultimately he'll be on the better team, and when it comes to it, he'll look his numbers and his resume will look better this year than Victor Wembanyama will, in my opinion. And I think this Thunder team is really going to make strides. They are coming off of a loss to Sacramento, and I want to try to kind of a bounce back spot here. I grabbed them on the money line. I like fading the Suns. This is a Suns team that I think is going to be very overrated throughout the year. A lot of people are super high on them. I was not, and this team's under 500 right now. So for me in this one is a Thunder spot for me, plus the 120.
LJ, your thoughts here, Thunder Suns?
Yeah, I could look at OKC covering these points. The Suns shooting guards, all 3 shooting guards are game time decision tonight. Beal, Booker, and Gordon. So for that reason alone, gets me off of the Suns. You know,
Which
they're
Booker
already
is doubtful.
Yeah, I'm not. He's probably not going to play. I'm almost certain Booker's not playing. But Gordon, they need one of them. They need Gordon and they need Beal for the most part because Gordon comes off the bench. He's your production off the bench. So if you have him in the lineup, you have nothing coming off your bench. As far as OKC, I liked him as a dog, especially on the road, which they're 22-12-3 since last year as a road dog. This is where they play well. So I wouldn't be surprised at them to cover this 3. I would take them as a money line as well, but I'm not going to bet it. I'm just going to sit back and watch because I want to see Phoenix with their full roster before I invest on them as far as covering spreads and taking them on the side. But I do have a prop. Usage Nurkic, over 4.5 assists, minus 108, because he's hit this number in 5 straight games. 4 straight. I'm sorry. He's had it in 4 straight games, over 4.5 assists. They kind of run the offense like when they get him in the paint, he likes to pick and choose guys coming off the pick and roll, set screens and things like that. So plus they don't have a true center in OKC. So you can look at his rebounds as well, but he's been cashing on that 4.5 assists. He will have 5 assists because he's done it in 4 of his past 6 games I see now. So yeah, Nurkic over 4.5 assists, minus 108 for me in this game. Other than that, I stayed off the side.
Fair enough.
KD old team. Oh, it is KD versus the Thunder, but he's played the Thunder multiple times. I'm not. He's been off the Thunder for a while, and it's not even the same team anymore.
I mean, we're getting to the point where almost half the league is KD versus his former team. So, Golden State Warriors are 1.5-point favorites in this game against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves team that I'm kind of high on this year. They've been really good. They beat Boston. That was a big win for them. They're dogs in this game, but they're in Golden State. Total of 221 in this matchup here. This line has actually gone up to a 2, and it's a 220.5. But line opened up at a 2.5. It got down to a 1. Actually, it was Minnesota -1 at one point. Back down, it's come back to Golden State -2. Line opened up at a 224, and it's now at a 220.5. So the line dropped once again. I've noticed a lot of totals have dropped a couple points. 55% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the under. We'll do that. 30% of the tickets and 48% of the cash is on the T-Wolves. The line's gone from 2.5 to 2 since the opening line. This did get down. The the T-Wolves were favorites in this game at one point. My number for this game is a 2. So I don't really see too much value in this game. I don't really want to back Golden State in this spot, especially with the way the market's coming on them. And I don't want to fade the T-Wolves at the moment. But this is a pretty plain simple pass. Like I said, I can have a big card, or we can have a big card in the NBA. I'll still only find 2 plays. And that's all I've gotten so far. So pass for me here. LJ, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass too. Golden State's on a back-to-back. They lost last night against Cleveland, and Minnesota plays well, especially in the first part of the game, first half. So I could see them easily covering this first half spread on the Warriors. But who's to say the Warriors can't come back in the second half? They're a good home favorite team over the years, and they're playing a Western Conference team too. So I think they play better at the West at home, opposed to the East. And Golden State third quarter, I think it's back. You can look at them as well coming out of halftime. I think they've covered the spread in all 3 of their home games coming out of halftime. Not sure. You can fact check me on that, but I'm not making it official. Just something to look at. Golden State third quarter coming out of halftime again. Covering spreads. But other than that, I stayed off just because they're on a back-to-back. And I don't trust their legs against Minnesota, who plays well, especially against the West.
Minnie's a team I'm looking to bet on, not against.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Bet on at home.
Yes.
At home, not on the road. At home this year they are on the road they're 1-2. They're 5-0 at home. So no, this is a spot that I would not be interested in grabbing Minnesota. And Golden State off a back-to-back, although they lost last night, so it could be a good attempt at a bounce back spot here, but I'm not really trusting an older Warriors team to try to bounce back on a second leg of a back-to-back against a T-Wolves team that's looked impressive to start the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I will say I liked the T-Wolves last year. I thought they were going to be competitive. Unfortunately, they're 2 big trees. They never really got to have them both in the game at the same time throughout the entire year until playoffs, and they got swept by the Nuggets in the first round, which no shame in that. I think this Minnesota team is going to be 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th in the West this year. And I think they're going to be able to make a deep run. So I do think Minnie's a good team. I'm not touching them today on the road until they can start proving me that they win on the road. And I'm not touching the Warriors on a second leg of back-to-back. So pass.
Fair enough. For those who are interested, little long shot, 28-1. Minnesota Timberwolves to win the NBA Finals.
I still think the Nuggets repeat. I took T-Wolves money line. That's fair. Do we have to talk this game?
The final. Holy crap! The Lakers are 10-point favorites in this game with a total of 220. All righty, let's get into it here in this spot. I guess that just tells you how bad the Portland Trailblazers are.
Yeah,
line
they're
opened
bad.
up at a 10. It is still a 10, so the line's not moved. Line opened up at a 220. It did get up to a 221.5 at one point. It's back down to a 220. So no line movement on this since the opening line. 44% of the tickets, 69% of the cash is on the Timberwolves in this game. So the bigger bets coming in on Portland here. 72% of the tickets are on the over. We have no cash flow on this game. Let's take a look. My line for this game is a 6.5. I don't see the Lakers any reason why they should be laying 10 points in this game, in this spot. So unless there's an injury I do not know about, I'm gonna take some Blazers plus 10 and a small sprinkle at the plus 385 most likely. Tim, your thoughts on this game?
Pass. I don't want anything to do with the Trailblazers, and there's no way in hell I'm touching the Lakers at minus 10. I don't like betting the Lakers in general. I bet them twice this year. They missed covering by a hook, and then they won for me on a money line. So I'm a little bit profitable about betting the Lakers, but I'm sorry. No. I am never laying that many points on them. But I'm not touching the Blazers. This one's a complete stay away spot for me.
LJ, are you going to look to support my Blazers look here?
No, Blazers are trash. Brogdon's hurt. No Anthony Simons. So their roster is completely in flux. And as far as the Lakers, they're coming off a big win versus the Suns, if you can call that a big win. But they still beat them as a road dog. So coming now at home, back home versus Portland, I don't think they're going to be that inspired. And we always look at the injury report, and what we always see: LeBron, game time decision; Anthony Davis, game time decision. So
Anthony ? Davis. So
yeah. So until that changes, man, I don't bet on them.
Not going to.
both these teams suck early in the first quarter and first half anyway. If you look at their stats, they suck in the early part of the game. So nothing for me to take. I got so much action today. I'm comfortable with just staying completely away from this game.
Yes. 2-minute warning. For what?
For the NFL. We've gone that long where the NFL is starting in a minute.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we've been live for 2.5 hours. Nick, why did you put NBA and NHL today? No fuck, no.
Because we are doing our due diligence, because those sports are just as important. They print the same money on NFL Sunday, and the lines are softer. I'll make this one pretty simple. This game starts in 2 minutes. I'm not playing this game.
Blackhawks money on.
I mean, it'd be Blackhawks or nothing, but we don't have time to break down this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm on the Blackhawks. I posted it on Twitter 2 minutes ago, so we're good.
All right, there you go.
Connor Bedard, anytime goal. Called rookie of the year, best player in the league, MVP. No, I'm kidding. I only got one other play though for the NHL card.
Yep, let's get into this here. We have the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. The Stars minus 110 favorites, total of 6 in this game. Line opened up into minus 111. It's a minus 110, so a 110 line movement towards Minnesota. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 108. It's a 6 at minus 101 now, so move towards the under here as well. Dallas and unders, I can understand why the line's moving that direction. Let's take a look at the cash flow here in this game. We have 48% of the tickets, 81% of cash on the under, and that's why it's moved a couple cents. We have 53% of the tickets, 89% of cash on the Stars in this game as well. Looking at this matchup here, we get the Stars on the second half of a back-to-back. They were in Winnipeg last night. But the travel from Winnipeg, Manitoba to St. Paul, Minnesota is not far. For people who know geography up in Canada, basically they're right above each other. It's not a far trip, so it's not that bad of a travel situation. The Stars are 9-3-1 this year. They're coming in off a win against Winnipeg yesterday. Minnesota coming in struggling. They lost back-to-back games versus the Rangers and the Sabres in Buffalo and in New York. And they've lost 6 of their last 8 games. This is a struggling Minnesota Wild team. I'm projecting Gussie for this game in this spot against Jake Ottinger. The Dallas Stars showed that this is the more important game out of the back-to-back. They put Wedgwood yesterday, and they saved Ottinger for today. So I think that this is a very serious game that they're taking here. I like the Dallas Stars in this game. I bet the Dallas Stars in this game at minus 110 or minus 111. I am on Dallas, and I did take some over as well. And it's mainly not because Ottinger. I think the Stars put up at least 4 in this game. I got over 6 at minus 108. Gussie has been terrible this year. He's the second worst goal saved above average, only in front of Stuart Skinner for the Oilers. So I'm on the Stars money line. I'm on the over in this game, over at 6. LJ, you got any hockey for us today? Anything in any of these games?
No, I haven't dove into hockey yet. Too much going on right now, but I will eventually, but not right now.
Yeah. Tim, your thoughts here, Stars and Wild.
I passed on this game. If anything, for me, the line's kind of telling me Wild. The fact that it's a pick 'em. I know Dallas is on second leg of a back-to-back. And they're on the road. That's kind of why it's there. I just can't touch Gustafsson. Hey, if this was opening day, I would have the under in this one, and I had alternate totals on the under because I have both these goalies as Vezina Trophy tickets. So, so Gustafsson, I've already thrown out that ticket. Ottinger's still not a bad option. So, but I personally did not bet this game. It would be a lean towards the Wild for me.
Fair.
Quarter unit on Chicago first period puck line plus 275 and Blackhawks money line. Half unit on the Chicago money line. Bedard over 2.5 shots on goal parlay piece. Half unit on Chicago plus 1.5. Wedgwood got the nod yesterday. They were saving Ottinger for today. Yes, they were.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's keep going. We got 3 games left in the NHL, Nick. Kind of rattle through these.
Yeah, New York Rangers and Columbus Blue Jackets. Rangers minus 245 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. 6.5. Wow. Let's take a look at this number where this line is moved. Open up at a 2. was that 65 to 65, and it's now a 225. So a 40-cent line movement towards Columbus. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 105. It's up to a 6.5 minus 108. So a small move towards the over here as well. We have 56% of tickets and 98% of the cash is on the Rangers puck line. 84% of the tickets, 69% of the cash is on the Rangers. 62% of the tickets, 58% of the cash is on the over, which is why the lines moved up a couple cents. I'm leaning I believe the opposite way here. Yeah, no, I like the under in this game a little bit here with Igor. Actually, my bad. It's Johnny Quick, which Jonathan Quick has actually been pretty good so far this season. And Elvis Merzlikins is on the other side here. The Rangers have been a good under team so far this year, 4-9 over under. And on the flip side, Columbus is 7-7. I think this number is too high. I'm going to move on this under 6.5 in this spot between Columbus and New York. Also, I would lean Rangers. Columbus, the last time these two teams played, won. I'm going to be on the under 6.5 here in this spot for me.
I was looking Rangers, but I'm not laying 245, and the puck line's only plus 110. And if I'm backing a puck line, it's got to be plus 140 or better for me. So I stayed away from it.
Yep. And the Baltimore Ravens are already on the board. That's how today's going to be. All right.
Who scored?
I don't know. I don't care. I need the Browns to do something. Let's see. Back to the chat.
It was a Kyle Hamilton 18-yard interception touchdown for the Baltimore Ravens.
Of course it was. So that means the Browns started with the.
Yep.
All right. Great. All right.
Smell that? Yeah, it's the Ravens. Ravens already scored. Touchdown Ravens. First minute. Agree with the under in the Rangers game. I knew I should have put $300 on the Ravens instead of $200. Game just started, dude. It just started. Don't do that yet. And Cincinnati's already driving. Great. Nice. Columbus Blue Jackets randomly like to beat the Rangers. Yeah, they do. It's fear. What smells like fear? That I don't want to be grabbing plus 110. All right, here's one game that I do like, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Canucks coming in off of that loss yesterday against the Maple Leafs. They traveled to Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Line opened up at a 160. It's up to a 170 now for the Canucks. We have this line opened up at a 6.5 at minus 130. It's now down to a 6.5 minus 117. So move towards the under here and a move towards the Canucks. We have 88% of the tickets, 98% of the cash is on the over because it's line move towards the under. And we have 36% of tickets, 56% of the cash is on the Canadiens, and the lines move towards the Canucks. Taking a look at this spot here at a 6.5, I like this under as well. I like another Sunday under here. Under 6.5 is plus money too. In this spot, we have Jake Allen and I believe it's going to be on the flip side. Not Thatcher Demko. He started yesterday, so it's going to be Casey DeSmith, which I'm totally fine with. I see a good defensive effort here in this game. I like another under here, under 6.5. Canucks and Canadiens for me.
I'm on
by the Vancouver Canucks.
Puck line today. Bounce back spot after an ugly game yesterday. And you can make the argument that today was a look ahead spot. Although Toronto is always a big game, and they're both Canada games, so maybe not. But both teams are on a back-to-back, so we'll put that there. And I still have the Vancouver Canucks as my number 3 to number 4 team in the NHL. I have them up high. By the way, touchdown San Fran. I like the Vancouver Canucks. I took their puck line today, and that was plus. How big a plus money? I'm trying to find my post. Plus 150 for the Canucks on the puck line today.
There you go. I'm glad I stayed off the Jaguars.
Blue Jackets typically play well at MSG on Sundays. That's
it's still early. It's still early.
It is still early. I was only mentioning the score. So the Canucks, and it's spelled with 2 O's, not 2 U's. My favorite NHL game today is the Canucks and over. There you go.
I'm on the under.
Bounce back. Jake Allen is struggling. Well, when you take an entire season off, I would imagine. All right, Nick, we get to talk about the best team in hockey now.
Yeah, San Jose Sharks, and this is one of the trends that I I told LJ when he asked backstage about any NHL trends to look at. It's 3 words: fade the Sharks. And I'm on that today. I wasn't on it last game only because the Vegas Golden Knights were minus 500 favorites. So there was really no way to fade the Sharks last game. I'm on the Ducks. I got -1 at -129 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this game where it opened up at a 195. It's down to a 190. So I don't like that line movement there. Opened up at a 6.5 -106. It's now a 6.5 -101. Let's take a look
score.
Huh?
Bingo score.
There we go. That helps you over. 53% of the tickets, 84% of the cash on the over in this game, 90% of the tickets, and 54% of the cash on the Ducks. That makes me a little bit nervous, but I am fading the Ducks here, or fading the Sharks. Back in the Ducks, if I can speak correctly. The Sharks are 0-6 away from San Jose this year. Their only 2 wins are at home. And I'm going to look to back the Ducks off of a bad loss, back-to-back losses against Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So give me the Ducks here -1, -129.
Also, Steelers on the board early. I passed on this game. Nothing really interesting in it. Ducks, after having their hot streak, lost 2 in a row, and the Sharks are the best team in the NHL. So, no, I'm kidding. I'm not touching this game. It would be leaning towards the Sharks for me, but that's just because I like pain, I'm guessing. And just picture that Lois Griffin meme of her staring at the pill bottle and the pill bottle saying San Jose Sharks money line. So, no, I'm kidding. I'm passing on this game. Nothing going. Ugh. Finally done with all the games.
Yeah, I made it.
See it. Mighty Ducks and over for same game parlay. Go Ducks. No, not Ducks, but break out those purple jerseys on a Sunday fun day. Ducks puck line and super puck line as well. If Blackwood, I'll look towards Ducks team total under and the Sharks. There you go. Do I have the jersey here?
You stole my jersey.
I didn't steal it because it never got to you. And we'll see.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Sharks one. I thought you were talking about the Sharks one.
No. I might have to hold on to this one.
No. That one's mine.
Who is this, Nick? Banks?
Thanks.
New Jersey. All right. Anyways. But no, anyways. That is all for today. Only a 2-hour and 41-minute show. Not bad, guys. I'm not really going to do much of a housekeeping thing. You guys know the links. You guys know the membership on the YouTube. LJ, I know they could find you on, what is it, YouTube and Twitter?
Yes, sir. At LJ Sports Media on Twitter and also on YouTube. Raw Words Podcast, or you could type in LJ from Houston. Both of them come up, streaming now. I did my prop show earlier this morning, so I gave out all my props for today. So y'all can go back, watch, see if y'all like some, see if y'all want to jump on anything. But yeah, follow me at those social media sites, man, and let's continue to keep passion, gentlemen.
I'm putting both your links in the chat so that they can find you easily. I'm trying to. They gave me. Anyways, yeah. So both of LJ's links will be in the chat, so you guys can check him out. Do we need to recap it? It was a humongous ass card. Well, all the games are kind of going on for the 1 o'clockers already. Chargers, Cowboys to win by 43 plus at plus 2,500. No, I'm kidding. Jets money line. I'm on the under in the next game that looks like garbage. Pacers in the over. Nuggets to absolutely roll over the Houston Texans. And then
Rockets.
Over the Rockets, yeah. I am on the Texans, so I have Houston on my mind there.
I'll be at that game actually tonight. Full disclosure. So.
There you go. There you go. Go Nuggets. And then I'm on the Blackhawks and the Canucks today. So there you go. Nick, go ahead, or LJ, whoever wants to recap next, and then we'll try to head out.
Go for it, LJ, and then I'll wrap it up.
I don't even have my recaps up, but I know I took the same. Yeah, I don't have them up for me. You know, there's a lot going on today. Just go rewatch the show, man. You know what I'm saying? You get all the recaps there. You know, give us our plays. So
rewatch it in 2 times speed, and you can get it done in an hour and a half.
There you go.
Yeah. For me, I'm already on the I'm on the Browns 6.5 in money line. I'm on the Bengals team total over, full game over. Vikings +3 in money line. Later, the games that haven't started yet: Chargers money line, Giants 17.5, Jets Raiders first half under 17.5, full game under 36. In the NBA, I got to Indiana Philadelphia over and Denver Houston under. In the NHL, I'm on the Dallas Stars -111 and the over 6. I'm on Columbus Rangers under 6.5. I'm on Vancouver Montreal under 6.5, and I'm on the Ducks -1. That is my full card for today. But that is everything for today's show. Want to wrap it on up, Tim?
Let's do it. We'll be back tomorrow for, I believe it's a smaller. No, I believe tomorrow is NHL cards, 2 games. So it's going to be a shorter stream tomorrow. And then NBA tomorrow is 4 games. So very, very short show tomorrow. That's going to be fun. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. We'll be back next time. Peace out, guys.